and gentlemen, please welcome the Spirit of Siena, your Saints Marching Band. On behalf of Siena University, the band cordially welcomes all Saints fans and the visiting students, faculty, and staff from St. Francis University. Everybody on your feet and join the band in singing the Siena Heights University Victory March. And now, please join the Saints Marching Band as they present that traditional favorite, When the Saints Go Marching In. If you'll now please stand for our university alma mater and remain standing and remove your hats as we play the national anthem.
Well, good afternoon, Saints fans. Welcome out to Adrian, Michigan, week number 2 of the USF football season in their 40th year of intercollegiate football. Nick Jacobs and Dave Laquetta high atop O'Loughlin Stadium on this cloudy but beautiful late summer, early fall day. Both these teams, both named Saints, both looking for their first wins of the season. Of course, last year, Dave, a tough one to swallow because the offense played well, the defense a bit of a tough day going up a really tough offensive team in Taylor, but it's just the self-inflicted wounds really is what did the Saints in against Taylor last week.
Yeah, 6 turnovers in your season opener does not usually bode well. And, we saw the numbers in our pregame notes. A year ago, the Saints didn't get their 6th turnover until week number 7. So that was an issue. I really think Taylor having one game under his belt compared to St. Francis and the offense that Taylor runs made it very difficult for some of the St. Francis players, especially the kids who were playing either collegiately for the first time. We had some freshmen in there. Mason Hackman did a nice job. He got the interception to propel the Saints early on there. But, you got guys that are playing collegiately for the first time or playing at St. Francis for the first time. And in a game situation, you can practice all you want, you can do all that, but until you're facing an opponent, the game just speeds up. And I really believe this today, that you're going to see a different St. Francis team.
I do too, and there was a lot of positives to build on, right? 468 total yards of offense, even giving up the ball 6 times is pretty incredible what they could do under freshman quarterback Nathan Mall. You take a look at some of the the turnover numbers, and it's not great, but you take a look at Nate's passing numbers, and not too shabby for his first game. 19 for 33 through the air, so a little better than 50%. 284 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Not too bad for Nathan Mall's first collegiate start.
For sure. Anytime you can pass around 58, 60%, have those numbers. He really did only have the 1 interception, did have the 1 fumble that hurt him. The other thing I really liked, which we saw a little bit last year, but not as much. I mean, you had Joey Tumulty, and he had all kinds of great numbers. The fact that St. Francis had 5 different receivers with at least 3 receptions, that really tells a lot about, the offensive game plan for Matt McCarthy. It also talks about Nathan Mall not, relying on just one receiver. There's plenty of different options there, which maybe last year there weren't as many. You know what I mean? Jake Friddle, who had an unbelievable game last week, 2 touchdowns, first 2 touchdowns of his career. He had the same number of receptions as he did all of last year, and he had 85 yards, and he had only 49 last year. And we know he was injured throughout most of the season, early on, and then tried to come back late. But with the injury that he had, it just put him way behind. And so I'm looking for a lot of good things from Jake Friddle this year in his senior year.
Absolutely. The Saints captain's ready to go to the middle of the field. The Siena Heights Saints team not on the sideline. Here come their 4 captains out of the tunnel, though, to meet them at midfield. We got about 3 minutes to go till kickoff. The coin flip is coming up here in just a little bit. We'll talk about those weapons that Nathan Mall has coming up in just a bit, but how did the Siena Heights Saints get to 0-1? Well, it was a close one against the other St. Francis, Indiana last week. The Saints of Siena Heights lost 21-20. They were winning 20-0 at one point in the game, but then St. Francis, Indiana scores 21 unanswered, including 14 in the fourth quarter. Started the game off strong last week, did Siena Heights. Returned the opening kick for a touchdown, 92 yards. But that was pretty much all they had in the first quarter there. And what really marred Siena Heights game last week, much like our St. Francis Saints, was turnovers. Siena Heights had 5 turnovers in their first game last week, including 3 fumbles and 2 interceptions. So the only difference between Siena Heights and St. Francis was 1 extra fumble. So they had a case of the fumbles, so did we. So I bet you they're expecting to have a much different football team on the field today, just much like we are.
Yeah, and they do have some weapons. They were 3-7 a year ago, but we're talking to their radio person who does coverage for their games. He talked about how many injuries they had a year ago, and that was the first time they, had such a bad record, 3-7. Usually they're right around 500. A couple years they were 7-3, but they've got some weapons. I mean, this DJ Young, who returned the opening kickoff for 92 yards, averaged 42 yards on a return. Ian Furlong, another punter. Their special teams is going to be crucial today, and that's something that the Saints of St. Francis have to pick up on. And the other key defensively for St. Francis is to stop the Siena Heights running back, Brendan Hassenleder.
Yep.
He's just a sophomore, and he ran for over 1,000 yards. Not too many guys run for over 1,000 yards in college football anymore, Nick.
Absolutely. We had a pleasure of watching one of them the last 3-4 years, but they got a good one here up at Siena Heights too. So two teams, both named Saints, both underperforming in week 1, looking to get their first win here in week number 2. The Siena Heights Saints won the opening coin flip. They elected to defer to the second half, so St. Francis will be kicking off going right to left. St. Francis in the traveling white on whites today. The brown Saints across the chest. Brown numbers, gold trim, white helmets with the transparent Bernie logo on the side. Siena Heights, their home, navy blue and gold. Navy blue uniforms, gold numbers, white pants, white helmet. They will be going left to right. The number to keep an eye on out there, number 6, DJ Young, the redshirt freshman out of Lafayette, Indiana. He is in the middle of a trio of returners ready to return the kick here from Adrian Guerrero. They're pretty excited here in Adrian in their final season of collegiate football. The kickoff is away, end over end. They're going to let that one go 2 yards deep into the end zone, so no DJ Young on the opening kick this week. And here come the St. Francis defense. A bit injury marred already after the first week. There will be no Nick Mabudis in the secondary. There will be no Charlie Brooks up front. Mabudis, of course, went down in the game last week with a shoulder injury, so unable to quite get back yet. Charlie Brooks, I believe, was injured in practice this week, so he's unable to go as well. Siena Heights led by Elijah Taylor on my 2 deep, but I don't think that's who they're putting out there. No, it's Braylon Himmeline, the redshirt sophomore quarterback, leading the way just like he did last week. Takes the shotgun snap. They're going to throw it on first down in the first play, and they get out to about the 35, enough for a first down. He's taken down by Trey Sayers, his first tackle of the game, first of many more to come. He led the Saints last week with 10 tackles, number 3.
Yeah, it's good to have him back. We had him for 8 games last year. Missed a couple conference games early on with that broken hand, and then came back for his final 3 games wearing the club, so to speak.
The man who caught the pass, Troy West, motions to the left. He'll get the second one, his second catch, but he's met at the line, able to shrug off one tackle, but not the second one. One of the defensive linemen for the Saints came up, made the tackle after a gain of 2. 2nd and 8 coming up for Siena Heights.
Yeah, the initial hit was made by Ryan Bannis, bounced off him, and then finishing him off was, it looked like Carson Hansen, as you said.
Pistol formation for Himmeline. Hard count, almost got the Saints to jump, but he's going to look to the sidelines for the new play. Addresses the offensive line and takes a step back again. Pistol formation, Siena Heights, 3 wideouts right, 1 left here on 2nd and 7 from their own 39. Play action, quick pass to the left, right at the sticks, and he's able to pick up the first down. And Nathan Shute nearly lost a handle on the receiver, and it would have been a touchdown, but he kept a hand on the back of the jersey and able to take him down inside St. Francis territory.
21-yard pickup, 3 quick plays, 10 yards, 3 yards, and now 21. And just like that, Siena Heights is in St. Francis territory at the St. Francis 41.
Going with the quick pass offense
so
far.
They scored 20 points in the first quarter and then got shut out after that last week.
2 receivers on each side. Motion man goes left to right. Quick pass again, nearly jumped, but complete out to the left side, and another first down, gain of 12. They tried to jump on the quick pass that time, but the defender for St. Francis could not quite get there in time, and another stick mover for Siena Heights.
On the 30-yard line, it'll be
Yeah, Himmelin 13 out of 24 last week, and each of his first 4 attempts here have been passes.
Himmelin in the shotgun this time, has his running back on his left hip, 2 wide receivers on each side. Option play, goes with the throw across the middle, nearly complete, but it was knocked away, and I think Trey Sayers wants a fumble, but they're going to call it incomplete to Nehemiah Gwilly, the redshirt freshman out of Shelby Township for Siena Heights.
Definitely incomplete pass, but Trey Sayers coming from his nickel back on the left side of the defense, and the receiver coming from the left side, he was wide open. Should have made the catch. Good job. Good play by Trey Sayers to knock it away at the last second.
2nd down and 10 at the St. Francis 30-yard line here for the Saints of Siena Heights. 3 wideouts right, 1 to the left, ball left hash of the 30. A red, white, and blue stripe across the 30-yard line. There's a snap to Himmelin. Option play, going to throw it into the right corner, and is batted away at the last second. Nicely done by Mike Hackman, the strong safety, a freshman, able to bat it away. 3rd down coming up.
So the first 4 passes complete for Himmelin, and now the last 2 incomplete, creates a 3rd down situation. And I would think that even if they don't get the first down here, they're going to go for it on 4th down, because obviously the kicker, I don't think he would be able to make a 47-yarder. His longest was 27 a year ago.
Here's 3rd down and 10 for Siena Heights. A promising start to the drive, but a 3rd down play here. Play action. They got him in the back of the offense and taken down for the first sack of the game. That could not have come at a better time for St. Francis.
Marcelo Bernardi with the sack coming from that right side.
Now do you go for it on 4th and 15?
Now they're probably gonna punt now.
Indeed, here comes Ian Furlong, very good freshman punter, averaged over 43 yards per punt last week, and he was busy last week.
3 Saints came up hard on that. I did not see if they were blitzing on that. I mean, Marcelo, a down lineman. I think it was pretty much down lineman, and the fake seemed to take a little bit longer that time. I don't know if you noticed that, Nick.
Engstrom, the freshman, back to return for St. Francis. Flag flies, very short punt, high but short, angled toward the St. Francis bench and out of bounds. It hit at the 20, which means it probably crossed the sideline plane around the 30. Yeah, something like that. Pretty not a great kick from Siena Heights.
It's going to be false start on Siena Heights, so
make him pick it again.
Yeah?
Or do you like this spot?
I think it's a pretty good spot. I would take it.
Coach Curry and company discussing it. Referee's going to take a stroll over to the far St. Francis sideline to see what they want to do.
The one official went over to Tom Miller, the defensive coordinator, and he would say, well, what do you want to do? And Tom pointed, I'm not the head coach.
No microphone on the referee, so we're not going to get the explanation. Yep, looks like St. Francis is fine with that, and the Siena Heights defense will take the field for the first time. First time today, we will see Nathan Mall, the freshman quarterback, 284 yards.
See what the Saints do. It was interesting. Siena Heights came in and passed on every play that time, with the exception of the last one, and that's an interesting thing. We'll talk about it for Siena Heights next series about the underclassmen in their starting lineup along their offensive line.
Nate Mall in the pistol again. Hands off to Day. Flag on the first play from scrimmage for St. Francis. Not that it went anywhere. It was a gain of 1 for Day, but a flag flew at the snap.
St. Francis with just 4 penalties last week for 50 yards. That's the 4th fewest in the league, or in the nation this year.
And the sure penalty on St. Francis to start the game. Bit of an auspicious start. The game last week started great. It was a interception on the second play for the defense, and then the St. Francis offense put in a touchdown on their first drive.
Yeah, it was just 4 plays. Obviously, that one was only about 30, 40 yards. This one, you're going to need 75 to get in the end zone.
Mall takes a snap and rolls to his left. Fires on the run, but he threw it right to Siena Heights. It was intercepted by Mike Harrison. And the Siena Heights offense goes back on the field. Second interception of the season for the young freshman quarterback for St. Francis.
Yeah, I think he just got the ball. He underthrew it. It was a line drive. He wanted to go over the top of the defender and didn't get it high enough, and the defender came down with it. Got about a 10-yard return. Siena Heights is in great shape to start its second drive at its own, or at the St. Francis 27-yard line. 11:03 left to play. First quarter, no score.
Himmeline back on the field for Siena Heights in that pistol. As a running back 2 yards behind him. 2 wideouts left, 1, 2 to the right. Motion man to the center and then back out. Handoff for the first time today is a gain of 1, maybe 2 for 23. Brendan Heisenleder, their 1,000-yard rusher from a year ago.
On the stop that time for the Saints, Alan Richards, another core defensive linebacker for the Saints.
With all the turnovers last week, you kind of got a feeling that the Saints defense was on the field more than they were. The time of possession wasn't
pretty even.
Yeah, it was pretty even, surprisingly. Fake to Heisenleder. They're going to try to throw it into the end zone on the post route and nearly completed, and then it was nearly intercepted for St. Francis. Mike Hackman again coming in at the last second to bat it away. The secondary playing very well early on here for St. Francis. Well done by Michael Hackman, the freshman out of Danville.
Yeah, Himalayan a little bit slow on that. He should have found his receiver maybe about a second earlier.
He was open.
And he was wide open in the end zone for the touchdown.
Third down and a long 8 for Siena Heights at the St. Francis 26-yard line. Saints with 2 safeties and a timeout called by Siena Heights. 10:25 to go. No score. Second possession for Siena Heights here as they approach the St. Francis red zone. It'll be 3rd and 8 for them.
You know, it'll be interesting to see. Obviously, we've only had, maybe 10 plays for Siena Heights. But last year, just looking at the stats, we talked about their main running back, Brendan Heisenleder. He had 22 carries last year against St. Francis, but only 49 yards. And as we mentioned in the pregame, Nick, he had over 1,000 yards rushing. So I don't know if it's the feeling that, this St. Francis defense we can't run as well against, and maybe that's why they're going to the pass a little bit more. But we have not seen one rush out of this Siena Heights team so far.
What we did, we saw one before that play action that was incomplete. Heisenleder did get one carry.
That's right.
It went for just a yard or two, though, which I believe is why it's 3rd down and 2.
My bad.
Yep. Not to call you out or anything. A pass again to the outside. It is complete, upended down at the 17-yard line. A flag comes in from behind the defense here. It'll be close to a 1st down, but we're going to have to see what the flag is here. Interesting place to throw a flag from.
Yeah, it might be holding possibly on the defense from that spot. Let's see.
You might have been mistaken just because
he's gonna negate the flag. So they're gonna be about a yard. No, they're gonna say 1st down.
Yeah, it was right at the sticks, but they do give them the 1st down. So 1st down for Siena Heights into the red zone. They're at the 17-yard line to St. Francis. Defense going to have to make another stand here.
Good job of the receiver knowing exactly where that 1st down marker was.
Heisenleder behind Himmeline in the pistol. Turn and give to Heisenleder. Trying to get inside the line, but stuffed up, only a gain of 1 there. 2nd down and 9. Another nice job by, I believe it was Alan Richards who got his hat in there.
And Carson Hansen, and those guys know how to play together because they were both at Wilmington High School.
Yeah, love those Wilmington linebackers.
I'll tell you what, man, those boys can hit.
Yeah. They keep producing them down there south of Joliet. We'll keep taking them. 2nd down and 9 for Siena Heights. 2 wideouts left, 1 right, ball left hash of the 17, or near the left hash of the 17. Himmeline tapping on his right hip here. Let's see if that's a signal to Heisenleder, the running back who's behind him. Motion man from left to behind the line of scrimmage. They fake pass, and they get to him again for the 2nd sack of the game, and that's who it was again.
Blitz from the outside that time, and that was Carson Hansen.
His second tackle for a loss of the season. Did he get one earlier today? I don't think he did. I think it was his first one of the game, his first sack of the season as well. Had 9 sacks a year ago. Finally got one on the board to number 22. 9 minutes to go, first quarter here in Adrian, Michigan. No score.
Yeah, one of the nation's best in tackles for losses, 21 a year ago. So he averaged 2.1 tackles for a loss each game. That's incredible.
I believe the Siena Heights team was sacked 6 times a week ago.
Yep.
Play action again, rolling out again. They nearly got him for the third time. Himmeline running to the 15-yard line was able to take what could have been a 5-yard loss and made it about a 7-yard gain up to the 19-yard line. It's going to be 4th down, though, for Siena Heights. Nice defensive stop. Field goal kicker will come on here to kick a 31-yard field goal from the right hash. Not much wind to speak of here today, so
it's not kicked one this year, but and only was one of 2, I believe, a year ago.
Carter Bell, the redshirt sophomore, on for the right-footed kick for Siena Heights. Snap is a good one. Hold is down. Kick's on the way. It's got the leg, and he missed it wide left. No good from Siena Heights. Bell goes 0 for 1, and the defense for St. Francis stops him again. No score. Just under 8 minutes to go, first quarter. It's all about ball protection now for St. Francis. If they can just hold on to the ball, it's been 7 turnovers already in the last game in a few minutes here. One turnover.
You'd almost really like to get that run game established again. I know they had 4 fumbles last week, but
Carl Bew is on the field, not at quarterback, though. He will take a spot at wide out on the left side of the formation. We got a running formation, that is for sure, though, with Gavin Day, the tailback, at a fullback to the right of Nate Mall. Ryan Little out to the right. They hand it off to Day, trying to find a little daylight, and there wasn't much there. That's a pickup of just 1, 2nd and 9.
Gavin Day with a carry for St. Francis. Brought down by Clark Hamilton.
Well, again, I know it's 31-24 last year, but for the most part, these games against Siena Heights have been defensive battles. The first one ever was 17-14.
Ryan Little will be wide left. Carl Bew in the slot left.
Let's see if Ryan Little can break one here.
Friddle is the tight end left. Hill will motion to the right. Day to the right hip of Mall in the shotgun. 2nd and 9. Bew jet motion. They give it to Carl, looking for some daylight on the edge. Makes one miss, powering his way to the sticks. It's going to be close. It's a pickup of at least 7 for Carl Bew on the jet sweep.
It's going to be a yard short. A nice 2nd down run.
And he's a great story, too. Came in as a quarterback on most of the second-string snaps last year, but had to battle for that position in the offseason coming into this season. And even though he lost it, he showed a lot of maturity in how he handled that.
Yeah, we'll talk more about that, but has done a great job as a captain this year.
3rd down and 1,
Saints
and
are going to call timeout.
St. Francis will call the timeout. They don't want to waste this 3rd and short opportunity here with 6:36 to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, so it was a 2-man battle between Carl Bew and Nathan Mall this past spring after the graduation of Sam Tumulty. And those 2 battled it out, and then they brought in Johnny Sorensen, a transfer from Bowling Green University, and he battled as well. And Coach McCarthy and Coach Curry decided, hey, we're going to give Nathan Mall the shot here. He seems to have played the best. And actually, that was nothing against the other 2, especially Johnny Sorensen. Johnny only had like 14 practices in this type of offense, so he was a little bit behind the other 2. And then shortly after that, probably 3-4 days after they had the meeting to discuss who was going to get this, the start, Carl Bew asked for a meeting with Coach Curry, and he came up to Coach Curry and said, hey, I want to stay. I want to help this team. What can I do to help this team? And that's why you're seeing him in so many different positions this year.
Straight ahead inside run for St. Francis, and they pick up 7. Plenty enough for the first down for St. Francis on the day here on their second drive. 6:23 and counting, first quarter, no score.
And that's why you're going to see him as a quarterback, a running back, a receiver. He returned kicks last week. He is a true athlete.
Yep.
There's no doubt about that.
He's split out wide right now here on the 3 wide out set. Maul drops back to throw, checks it down to Day in the backfield. The ball comes out again. Another fumble, but did it go out of bounds? It did. Another fumble for St. Francis. They're fortunate. I believe that's the first fumble this season they haven't lost, I guess, if you want to put a silver lining around it. But again, the 5th fumble of the season already, coming out at the end of a run.
Somebody said, I don't know if it was you when we were having breakfast, we just need to have these receivers and running backs just go to bed holding a ball in their hand.
Take it to class, go to your family parties, and carry the football. Second down after the fumble at the line of scrimmage. Bew, jet motion again, left to right. They fake it to him this time. Maul tucks it and goes. Didn't see anything downfield. Just hold on to the ball. Breaks the tackle across midfield for the first down. Maul down to the 46-yard line. Picks up about 20 yards there on the carry.
19-yard pickup. And, Nathan Maul is a big quarterback. Unlike, Sam Tumulty took some hits. He was about 5'9", maybe 170, 180. Nathan Maul, 5'10", 195.
Aaron Larkins into the game, the sophomore transfer from Valparaiso.
Yeah, we saw him with 3 carries. One was 30 yards, had the great pickup, and then had that fumble. Like to see him in that backfield as well, along with Day.
Day goes in motion to the slot right. Larkin in there to block. Maul looking to throw. Jump throw across the middle. Finds Bew, who's hit, but he bounces off, and he goes to the perimeter up to the 20-yard line and another first down. Carl Bew showing some skill here with another 20-plus yard play for St. Francis.
26 yards this time, so the last 2 plays now, 7 yards, and then 19 and 26.
Was there a flag?
We
I
got
don't think so.
An injury or a timeout by Siena Heights?
I guess there must be a timeout here. 4:38 to go. The second timeout they've taken, and we're only in the final minutes of our first quarter. No score here, but the St. Francis offense showing a bit of life, giving the defense a breather, and knocking on the door of the red zone, where they were quite efficient last week.
And last year, too, for the most part. They were, when they got in the red zone, they scored touchdowns. And that's what you would like to do here. Second offensive series for the Saints. Again, they had 486 yards of offense last week. And while some teams have had 2 games under their belt, others with 1, that currently ranks 12th in the NAIA, and their passing numbers of 296 was 14th.
2 wide receivers, a tight end, and a running back. It's Gavin Day with an inside run. That hasn't been open for either team yet today. He was able to squeeze out about 2 yards in the play. Second down coming up right inside the 20-yard line for St. Francis.
Injured Saint on the field, it looks like, or... Yeah, Gavin Day's going to have to come out. Looks like he did get injured. Yep. His helmet also came off. And I don't know, he's sort of holding that shoulder. Right. That shoulder. I don't know if he dislocated the shoulder or what. He's down on his knee on the sideline.
Aaron Larkins becomes the feature back here in the offense. 2nd and 9. Friddle motions to the right side. The give to Larkin. Bounces outside, breaks 1, nearly broke 2, but it's enough for the first down. 1st and goal coming up for St. Francis at the 6-yard line.
13-yard pickup for the Saints, and they are finding a lot of success when they go off that right tackle right now, Nick. You've seen it for 26 yards, and now you've seen it for 13, and you saw it for 7 yards on that play to get the first down or just short of the first down for Carl Bew.
2 wideouts to the left. It's Little and Bew. We got Larkins behind Maul. Turn, give to Larkin. Tried an inside run that time. He was stood up. It's going to be a loss of 1. Oh, we got some pushing and shoving on the pile here as well, as Larkins taking a bit of exception to what happened in the pile. 3:13 to go. First quarter, no score here in Adrian, Michigan.
Yeah, you don't want to have penalties. We've seen them, There was the South Florida game last week that led to the upset for South Florida. You don't want to get 15-yard penalties when you're down at the 7-yard line trying to get in for your first score of the game.
Same formation, same play. Larkins up the middle, backing in near the goal line. Touchdown Saints. St. Francis on the board first with 2:44 to go in the first quarter. 6-0 St. Francis, and on comes Guerrero for the extra points. Larkins with the 7-yard touchdown run. His first touchdown as a Fighting Saints. Aaron Larkins, the sophomore, he's out of Crest Hill, went to Valparaiso, and now finds his way back here. Where did he go to high school? I don't have that in my notes, actually. Is he a Joliet West kid?
Can't remember, to be honest with you.
High snap, but good job getting the ball down. And a flag comes in. It's going to be unnecessary roughness. Was that Jake Friddle? A little bit of a hit after the kick was in the air. So they're going to tack on 15 yards on the kickoff. So Adrian Guerrero's job just got 15 yards more difficult.
10 plays, 80 yards, 5 minutes, 14 seconds. And they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plays of at least 7 yards. Now,
beauty.
that is a good sign of a good offense.
6.8 yards per carry for St. Francis on the game so far.
So the Saints have scored the opening touchdown of each of the past 2 games. That's a good sign, but hopefully they can maintain that lead. They were not able to a week ago. Taylor came back with 28 straight points and went on to win 45-28. Saints will start this kickoff at the 20-yard line. They usually kick off from the 35, but as Nick stated, Saints called for unsportsmanlike conduct on the point after touchdown, and so that will push everything up 15 yards.
Well, pretty much guaranteed a return here if Adrian Guerrero keeps it in bounds. So, and the dangerous returner is DJ Young. He is the deep man to return it, standing at his own 20-yard line. See if they try to angle it to one side or another. They have Brevin Jackson on one side. They got Troy West on the other. Speedsters ready to return it for Siena Heights. Let's see what Guerrero wants to do here. Guerrero approaches, puts his right foot into it, end over end kick. A return from Young will come from the 19-yard line, right up the middle past the 30, 35, 40. Wrapped up and down he goes. I believe it was Nate Shute with the special teams tackle. Take it easy now. No extracurriculars there, please. No flags on the play, but great field position for the Siena Heights offense. And that's where those penalties really kind of show their impact. A little late hit there, a 15 yards here, and now instead of them starting at their 25-yard line, they're out near the 45.
Well, even on that, the one play where the Saints had the false start, instead of 2nd and 9, now it was 1st and 15, led to the pass play instead of a running play, and then that led to the interception. Fortunately, it was a missed 34-yard field goal attempt by Siena Heights.
Himmeline, the quarterback for Siena Heights. It's Jalen Flowers now, the running back to his left. 2 wide receivers on each side. Option play. He's going to tuck it. Himmeline on the run, racing for the sideline. He's hit at the 45-yard line. That's a no gain. That was the line of scrimmage. And great pursuit by St. Francis as well. It's Carson Hansen who chased him down.
Yeah, I tell you what. This when they delay that, when they have that run pass option, but it's a fake. It's almost like an option fake, but really not.
Yeah,
when they do that, that plays into the St. Francis defense.
Yeah, very tough for the offensive line in that situation. 3 wideouts left, 1 right. Ball right hash of the 45. 2nd and 10. Quick screen pass left behind the line of scrimmage.
Holding.
A block to the outside, breaks 1 tackle, and picks up about 7 yards. Nice play and nice yards after contact.
Looked like Franciscovich was being held on that far sideline, but I guess it was a good job of just blocking by the receiver on that far side.
And John J. Alexander, his first catch of the season so far. 2nd and 10 becomes 3rd and 3. On comes Quest Williams, the halfback, the redshirt sophomore for Siena Heights here on 3rd down and short. See if he holds the ball a little bit too long for the St. Francis defense to get after him. St. Francis will rush 4. Rolling right is Himmeline. He tried to run.
He fumbled.
I think so. He lost it. I'm not sure who picked it up, but either way, it's going to be 4th down. Well, it's either going to be 4th down for Siena Heights or St. Francis ball. And it was picked up by Siena Heights, so 4th down, a loss of 1 on the 3rd down play. St. Francis defense doing a phenomenal job on 3rd down.
They have. I think Siena Heights is possibly at least 0 for 3.
Oh,
I know they didn't convert on 3 of them.
I got 1 for 4 on my sheet right here.
Okay. Yeah, and that one, Trey Sayers was coming in from the nickelback spot on the blitz, and he's the one that knocked it out, it looked like, at least from up here.
Furlong, the punter, off the
wow.
side of his foot, and it goes into the Siena Heights bench near the 45-yard line. That's going to go down as about a 10-yard punt, or about a 3-yard punt.
So he comes in averaging 46.3 yards per punt, had a 56-yarder last week among them, and now each of these two have gone like 10 and 12 yards.
Mm-hmm. They're actually putting the ball back to the 40-yard line, which I think is a little generous.
I thought it was closer to – I was going to say the exact same thing. I thought it was closer to the 45.
The ball was caught on the sideline closer to the 50 than where they ball have. That's not where it went out of bounds, but, hey, you know what? St. Francis will take this field position all day long. St. Francis starting at their own 40. Under a minute to go here in the first quarter. 7-0 St. Francis.
Scored on their last drive. That was the second drive for them. 7-yard run.
Maul. Play action. Throws it to the outside for Friddle, but he couldn't handle the pass and incomplete. That was probably on Friddle on that one. 2nd down coming up. More impressive on that last drive was the time that it took to get there and the yardage it took. 80 yards over 5 minutes in that last drive for St. Francis.
Yep.
Starting this one with an incomplete pass. 2nd down and 10 at their own 40. Larkin still in the game at running back.
I was just going to say, looking at the far sideline for St. Francis, Gavin Day standing up, watching, but without a helmet.
Handoff to Larkins, puts his shoulder down, gets it back to the 45-yard line. Nice hard run for 3rd down and 5 coming up. Opens the playbook up a little more.
I think you're going to go back with a run to the right side here. Right off right tackle.
Third down and a long 5 for St. Francis. Friddle, the tight end left, 2 wideouts right. Ryan Little wide left. Larkins behind Maul, who's looks to be addressing his offensive line. I think he's just going to let the time tick off the clock to end our first quarter here. And that's zeros. Yeah, we go to the end of the first quarter. St. Francis with the early lead. Defense playing well. Offense, a big, long touchdown drive just a few moments ago. They lead at 7-0. We'll take a little break here in Adrian, Michigan with the second quarter coming up. .15 minutes on the clock, ready to get our second quarter underway as we flip sides of the field. St. Francis will now go left to right. We would say into the wind or with the wind, but there is no wind. There is nothing out here. It is a beautiful, cloudy day, which is great when you're driving east in the morning. I didn't mind that so much.
Yeah, they were saying it was going to get up to 84 here today, but I don't think that's going to be the case. 73 currently.
Thanks, Tom. Nate Mall will have 3rd down and 6 to contend with here at his own 45. Larkins in for Gavin Day. Gavin Day out with an injury at running back. He's going to move Friddle from the left side to the right side. They're not going to run it. They're going to throw it. Mall rolling right. And a flag comes out for holding. He'll throw, get hit as he's thrown, but it's not going to matter because there was a hold right in front of the referee.
I might just I'm going to take it back. Oh no, they're going to decline it. It's going to be 4th down.
They're going to get the newcomer, Isaac Pula, the freshman offensive lineman for St. Francis out of Compton, California, with the hold. Like you said, it doesn't matter, though. Incomplete pass brings up 4th down. Adrian Guerrero on to punt. Now, punting's been an adventure with Adrian as well, so he's not immune to the old off the side of the foot situation, much like we saw Furlong for Siena Heights. So hopefully he can get a boot into this one and make him earn the yardage here instead of giving it to him. Guerrero, the sophomore out of Willowbrook, 2nd year punting duties. St. Francis special teams a little prone up the middle in the last week's game. We'll see if they can. Siena Heights was expecting, or at least the possibility of a fake, but Guerrero gets a nice boot into this one, and it is caught and fair catch. Well, I guess not called for. Is caught on his knees at the 23-yard line by the return man Gwilly, and that is where Siena Heights will take over. Good punt by Adrian. Taking a look at some of the first quarter numbers. Nate Mall, 2 for 5 for 26 yards and a pick. Not much there through the air for St. Francis, but 58 yards on the ground as a team. Aaron Larkins doing most of the damage. 4 carries for 22 yards and a touchdown. Carl Bew had one of those catches for 26 yards. Himmeline for Siena Heights, 6 for 9 for 60 yards. Sacked twice, though, by that St. Francis defense. They have not been able to rush the ball at all. -1 yards for Siena Heights on the ground.
What if they had 2 or 3 carries? One was the sack, obviously.
Not this one. They're going to go through the air. Screen pass right side. Caught. Run up to the 30, and he breaks free for a first down, and a flag comes in at the end of the play. What'd you see there, Dave?
Holding.
That one's going to come back. So quite a few flags already on both teams so far in this game.
Yeah, and that one was away from the ball, so not a smart penalty there.
2 penalties for 20 yards on St. Francis. This will be the 2nd penalty on Siena Heights as we just start our 4th quarter.
Oh.
Illegal block.
Yep. Push in the back. And again, where the play was and where that penalty was, you know, not a smart play by the offender. And actually, they take it back, surprisingly.
From the line of scrimmage?
I did not realize that.
Wow, so that the end of that play was really around the 40?
That's way too long. Isn't
that's
that a
harsh.
10-yard penalty? God,
it should be from the spot, I guess. But no, they're going to mark it back from the original line of scrimmage, which means the line of scrimmage now for Siena Heights is the 12-yard line.
This is where you put on your blitz package right now for the next 3 plays.
St. Francis, 3 down linemen, 3 linebackers. They're only going to rush the 3. Inside run, though, is bottled up and a big hit at the end of the play by St. Francis. Inside run goes nowhere for Siena Heights. I believe that was Mike Carver who made the hit there at the end. Nice to see him getting some time on the defensive side of the ball. He's been a special teamer, a long snapper for a couple of years, and just waiting for his time to play some meaningful linebacker minutes. And right now set up as the middle linebacker for St. Francis. He's out of Montini, a great football school.
Yeah, it looks like he's splitting some time with Alan Richards. Carver in on this series. Richards the last one. 2-yard pickup.
Extra defensive back, so 3 down linemen, 2 linebackers for St. Francis defense. The snap, looking to throw. They're rushing 4, going deep right side, and it is up and caught. That is a high point catch and a beauty from Kendrick McBride. Their number 1 wide receiver went up and got it at midfield. A 40-yard pass play to the 49-yard line of St. Francis. It was well defended on the end of the play. He had to contest for it, but he just got higher and went and got that football. Heck of a play by Kendrick McBride. Only 2 catches all of last year, now with 5 for 90 yards.
36-yard pass play puts it right at midfield, Nick.
First down for Himmeline. Here comes pressure again, trying to rush away from it. Another hold, no flag. There's the flag for holding. The pass was a nice one, incomplete. They're going to say incomplete pass. It's not going to matter, though, because it was a holding.
Curtis Reeves playing referee for the for the Saints. Yeah, look at him.
Curtis Reeves standing at the line of scrimmage, pointing the way the official will be pointing very soon.
I think he was the one that was holding. He was the one that was held.
Yeah. It's pretty clear. I mean, even I saw that one from up here. I saw the one that St. Francis committed last drive, and I saw the one that Siena Heights committed. It took away, and could have been a nice play, but he did land out of bounds with the catch.
That previous play, the 36-yard pass play, I don't know if I don't think the Saints were in man coverage. I don't know. Ryan Bannis was, I believe, supposed to be coming up from the top because Nick Franciscovich sort of got away from the receiver, and Bannis just got there a little bit late, and that led to the 36-yard pass play. So it'll be 1st and 20 now for Siena Heights. Last time they were in first and more than 10, they went with the run. See what they do here. 12:22 left to play, second quarter. Saints on top, 7-zip.
Heisen leader, the carry, met again at the line of scrimmage, and this Siena Heights run game can do nothing right now against St. Francis. Second down and long coming up for Siena Heights.
Yeah, Franciscovich there along with Carver. No pickup on the play, 2nd and 20.
Well, that block in the back, I know it goes down as a 10-yard penalty, but the end of that play was the 40, and then they had to snap it from around the 10.
Yep.
It was really a 30-yard difference, even though it was a 10-yard penalty.
Yep.
Second down for Siena Heights. They're back at their own 42. They need to get to the St. Francis 39 for a first down, 2nd and 20. Himmeline in the gun. Empty backfield. Pressure, throws down the middle, and it is intercepted by St. Francis. Return to the 40, Michael Hackman with an interception.
Second interception of the season, and really looked similar to the one he had a week ago against Taylor. Just deep in that backfield, playing the free safety spot where Nick Mabutis was now. And Hackman just sort of waiting for the ball to come to him. He was pretty much the receiver because the quarterback overshot his man. So another big play for the Saints here. Defense really, they bent a little bit, but haven't broken, and they've come up with some big plays. And they'll take Saints will take over with 11:31 left to play in the second quarter, leading 7-zip.
Each team with a takeaway so far. 1st and 10 for St. Francis, their own 40, and we're going to get a false start. Oh, they didn't blow the whistle. Oh, there it is. Yeah, what took them so long? It's going to be a false start on Aaron Larkins, the running back. He took off before the ball was snapped.
A lot of penalties this afternoon, Nick.
That'll be, I believe, did they register that? I got 2 penalties for St. Francis and 3 on Siena Heights. I believe it's the 3rd, though.
For St. Francis?
Uh-huh.
Let's see, we've got 1.
2nd or 3rd?
2.
There you go. Nope, 3rd. Yep, 3rd penalty for 25 yards. Both teams have 3 penalties.
Oh, the 3rd one was on the special teams. That's right.
Both teams with 3 penalties. Both of them cost 25 yards. First down and 15 now for St. Francis. Linebackers back off the line of scrimmage. Play action. They throw across looking for Ryan Little, but it was so far ahead of him he nearly threw another interception.
Yeah, that was not a good pass by Nathan Mall. He had Ryan Little wide open, but he was probably 3 steps ahead of where Ryan Little was. And it wasn't one of those, you have the timing pass plays. We saw that, remember, a couple of times last year with the Tumulty brothers. But that was not a timing play. That was just a quick 5 yards cut in for Ryan Little, was wide open. Would have had a nice big pickup. And now St. Francis is going to call timeout here.
Yeah, they were in all sorts of trouble there. They had no idea who was supposed to be on the field. The call was late coming in, just operational errors on that one, so they take a timeout to preserve the position. With 11:24 to go in the first half, St. Francis still leads at 7-0 with a 2nd and long coming up. And interestingly, this is the 2nd year in a row that St. Francis is playing a team that will not exist next year. Unfortunately, it was Concordia University last year who folded much of their, I think all of their athletic programs and much of the scholastic side, the academic side.
They have like 3 or 5 programs now.
But for Siena Heights, they're actually closing the school completely at the end of this school year, which is really unfortunate. They had a really great thing going here at Siena Heights. Their athletic program was good. Their football team more than competitive, beautiful facilities. Really a sad story to see them go.
Yeah, and, it's unfortunately it's a sign of the times for some of these schools. We've seen it in our conference. Cardinal Stritch is shut down. We've seen it with Trinity International, Lincoln. And it's just a different time for colleges.
2nd down and 14, and another flag comes in. Siena Heights is pointing at the offensive line for St. Francis.
And I think this might be on the starting center for the Saints.
Another penalty. 2 false start penalties back-to-back for St. Francis. That's tough to recover from here with 11:24 to go in the half.
Yeah, Anthony Nysachowski with the penalty that time.
Now 6 penalties. It was turnovers last week, and now it seems to be penalties. 2 wideouts, 1 on each side. Friddle, the tight end right. Larkins, the tailback. They give to Aaron Larkins, looking for room to the right. Good blocking up front. Nice run by Larkins, still churning his feet to the 44-yard line.
14-yard pickup.
That makes a 2nd down and long, a 3rd and manageable. About a 3rd down and 6 now for St. Francis. Great run by Aaron Larkins, who's been very impressive in his early part of his St. Francis career.
Connor Engstrom checks into the lineup. Haven't seen him targeted yet this afternoon.
Haven't seen him on the field much offensively. Does return punts. Larkins gets the ball inside carry. Hit once and here hit twice. Nice stand by the Siena Heights defense on 3rd down and brings out the punt team for St. Francis.
Yeah, both teams playing really good defense right now.
4th and 5 on the 45-yard line for St. Francis. Fans, get those blue tickets ready for the touchdown toss. We have 3 numbers to announce.
98 total yards for St. Francis, 97 total yards for Siena Heights.
Yep. Yeah, a couple big plays, but the defenses have held pretty good, with the exception of the 10-play, 80-yard drive for St. Francis.
Henny Gwimmy back to return the punt from Adrian Guerrero. Good snap to Adrian. Got that one off, spiraling into the air. It bounces, and it'll take a St. Francis hop sideways and then downfield a bit inside the 15-yard line. It'll be down at the 7. Or make that the 12, pardon me.
St. Francis punt by Adrian Guerrero down on the 12-yard line.
Well, St. Francis now 4 offensive series, and 3 have been 3 and out, or in the case of the first drive, two plays, including the interception.
I'm also looking for 181-6761.
Is that your raffle ticket?
Not yet.
No? I'm hoping
I guess
for
I'm too late, right?
Yeah.
Since they announced it already.
181-6824.
First down for Siena Heights. Nice punt by Guerrero. Put him inside the 15-yard line. Exactly what you want. Himmeline puts a man in motion right to left. Low snap, handled fine. Post route, complete. Past the 25, near the 30 for the first down on the slant. Nice play to Gwimmy.
I tell you, they are getting some open receivers when they have time in that backfield. I'll be honest with you, when they go with the straight pass rather than that run-pass option, they've been hitting some of their receivers for 15, 20, 30 yards.
First down at the 30. Motion man goes to the end of the right line. Now back out to the slot. Play action again. They pass to the outside. Caught but out of bounds at the 34. So modest gain out to Gwimmy again. His 2nd catch in a row. They give him 5. So 2nd down and 5 at the 35. Honestly, I kind of think that's the way that this defense is built. They're going to give up some of those short passes. As long as they keep them in front, though, and nothing gets behind them, it usually works out pretty well for St. Francis. The middle of the field has always been the weak spot in this 3-3 stack that Curry employs. Play action again. Another pass incomplete at midfield. Run broken tackle and more yards out past the 40-yard line, and a big field flipping play for Siena Heights. It goes to Creedell Prather, the redshirt senior out of Hammond, Indiana.
27 yards on that pass play, and that'll put it in St. Francis territory at the St. Francis 39.
Siena Heights with 118 yards passing and 1 yard rushing. And they're going to throw it again. Himmeline going deep down the left sideline. A lot of tangled. Wow. Oh, you know what? I thought they were going for the receiver that fell, but the second receiver nearly made up ground to make the play in the end zone. It did fall incomplete, but it's a heck of an effort by Troy West to nearly run under that ball.
Yep. Yeah, he put on the speed burners at the end. I didn't think he was going to get it at all, and it was closer than I thought.
Second down and 10. Ball to St. Francis 40 here for Siena Heights. 7-0 St. Francis. 8:05 to go first half. Motion man left. Again into the backfield. Now back out. They hand off. It's another run, but wrapped up in the backfield, and down he goes. Another one for Bernardi.
Second tackle for loss. The first one was a sack. Yeah, you're going to see pretty much a passing attack for Siena Heights this afternoon. They've already thrown the ball 15 times, and they threw it 24 for the whole game last week, Nick. I mean, this is where they've had success. They're 10 of 15 for 145 yards.
Third down and 12 after the loss on the run for Siena Heights. Trips receivers right. One goes in motion from right now to the left side. Pump fake. Pressure. Got him. Down he goes near the 50-yard line. Third sack of the game for the St. Francis defense. It was Curtis Reeves getting home.
And Marcella Bernardi on the assist. And that's the thing. You know, we didn't get a chance to talk about it at the beginning. This is an offensive line that has 3 freshmen, redshirt or true, 1 sophomore, and the only one that's an upperclassman is a junior, and that's their center. And they had 6 sacks a week ago. They've got 3 so far today.
Yep, I was just about to mention that very young offensive line for Siena Heights showing its effect here. The snap is good. The punt is high but short, but it's not going to matter. Whistle blew.
Delay of game or? Nope, false start.
Another penalty. My goodness. Very dirty first half of football from both teams here. That's the 4th penalty on Siena Heights.
Results of the play will make it 4th and 26 for Siena Heights.
Siena Heights with -10 rushing yards today. How about that for a run defense for St. Francis? Given the offensive line is very young for Siena Heights, but still got to make the plays, and they're doing that. Engstrom back to return for St. Francis if they can get it to him here. They've had some trouble punting the ball. They get it away. That one's a boomer. Oh, my goodness. Engstrom backpedaling makes the fair catch at the 10-yard line. That was a beauty from their punter, Ian Furlong. I think that's what they expect from him every time. St. Francis really backed off the punt block there. And now we got a flag on the field, or is that a towel somebody dropped? Oh, okay. I saw some yellow there at the 12-yard line, and there comes one of the game operations crews to pick it up.
44-yard punt that time. After a 10-yarder and a 12-yarder. Okay, let's see if the 6:23 left to play. Second quarter, Saints on top 7-0. Let's see if they can put together a nice little drive here and not give Siena Heights the ball back.
Larkins in at tailback. 2 wide receivers, 1 on each side. They give to Larkins inside carry. Not much room up to the, let's say, 13-yard line. Gain of 2.
Larkins with a carry for St. Francis, brought down by Clark.
Haven't seen much of, I've seen him on the field, but haven't been used that much, is Carl Bew, which we saw on that long drive that led to the Saints score.
Yep, Bew's got 1 carry for 8 yards and 1 catch for 26.
Those both came on that 10-play, 80-yard touchdown that ended with the 7-yard score by Aaron Larkins.
Kind of seems when Bew touches the ball, good things happen. Inside run again. Nice push by the offensive line. Able to pick up about 2. That was kind of stuffed right at the line of scrimmage, but it's going to be 3rd down and 5 coming up.
Saints 1 of 3 on 3rd down. Siena Heights 1 of 5. So neither team doing too well on their 3rd down plays.
Bew's going to be alone wide left. 2 wide receivers off here to the right. Engstrom and Little. Larkins is behind Mall. Friddle, the tight end right here. Ball left hash of the 19.
Coming with the blitz.
And Mall, they get him down.
He's down.
He dropped the ball, but it was already down inside the 5-yard line. Mall trying to escape but couldn't outwheel the defense, and a big sack inside the 5-yard line.
Yeah, 10-yard loss on that play. They were bringing the blitz. They had 2 linebackers, one from the left side, one from the right. And the one on the left side shot through between tackle and end and came away with the 10-yard sack. And the Saints deep in their end zone.
Guerrero has his heels on the back of the end zone here. And the return man for Siena Heights, Gwilly, standing at the Saint 45.
That's not good.
No, it's not. Good snap. Guerrero gets it off. End over end punt. Fair catch called for and made at the Saint 35-yard line. Guerrero did his best to get it out and out of harm's way, but the offense kind of put him in a tough spot there. Now the defense going to have to come back out and make another stop. So far, pitching a shutout as I knock on wood here with 4:09 left to go in the first half. 7-0 St. Francis.
Again, 5th series for the Saints. 4 have been less than 3 plays or less, including one on an interception on the opening drive. But so far, the St. Francis defense has pitched the shutout, as you said.
3 down linemen, 3 linebackers. Himmeline will be in the shotgun. Has Flowers on his right hip. 2 wideouts left, 1 to the right. Linebackers go back, jet sweep, they motion, they hand it to him on the sweep, and a nice tackle from behind. Look at the wheels.
I was going to say.
Nick Franciscovich, make that tackle.
Yeah, really good job. I didn't think Nick was going to get there, to be honest with you. It was a run play to the right side, and Siena Heights did a really nice job of blocking inside to create an open path, but Franciscovich, with his speed from behind, got the running back and leads to a 2nd and 10 situation. Good job by Nick.
2nd down and 10 for Siena Heights. Low snap. Himmeline rolls left, fires down the sideline, wide open, a heck of a catch made, but he was out of bounds. What a catch by Josh, or by that was number 10, Tendaji Alexander, but the ball was over his head, so he had to jump out of bounds to make the catch. He was wide open down the left sideline. Himmeline just missed him.
Yeah, it looked like the Saints had, Siena Heights had 3 receivers, but only 2 were covered.
Makes you wonder what happened to Elijah Taylor, doesn't it? He was the starter last year, and by all accounts is fine. I guess just got beat out in competition by Himmeline here. Taylor had a nice season last year. 4 wide receivers. Motion man makes a trip to the left. Himmeline again, under pressure again. Down he goes again. Another sack for St. Francis. That's the 3rd one of the half for the Saints defense.
I believe it was Ryan Bannis and Alan Richards.
They called out Carson Hansen's name as well. I would just say his name without even looking at it, because you're probably right. Another 4th and long after another sack of the quarterback. That's actually the 4th sack of the game.
Yeah, I was going to say, yep.
And
they'll have to punt.
Both of these offenses just sputtering here in the first half, making the defenses look real good. And it's not like the plays haven't been there, at least for Siena Heights. Himmeline has missed a few open receivers downfield.
Yeah, they've had plays of, again, 1, 2, 3. Just looking. 4, 5, 6. 6 plays of 10 yards or more.
And on the flip side of that, for the St. Francis defense, they got 3 players with at least an assist on a tackle for a loss. Pretty impressive so far for the St. Francis D. Punt unit on for Siena Heights. Expecting them to angle this one right. There's only one return man in Engstrom, and he's standing near the numbers on the left side. And they do kick it right at him, but they put it well over his head. That's going to go 8 yards deep into the end zone and out of bounds. Showing off the big leg, but prevents a return. 3:07 to go first half. St. Francis on top, 7-0. Really, it's one drive from St. Francis that's been the difference. They had a 80-yard drive that took over 5.5 minutes. It was just a thing of beauty from start to finish. That's really the best offense we've seen from either team. Here comes the St. Francis offense. See if they can get something cooking here. Nathan Mall at quarterback. We'll have Carl Bew to his left and Larkins to his right. Are they going to try something here?
Mall just 2 for 6 passing for 26 yards.
Out of a change of possession, Bew's in the backfield. They give to Carl. He's going to run right. I thought he might pull up and try to throw it, but nope, he tries to run it. Not much room there, only a yard or 2 for Bew.
Carl Bew with the carry for St. Francis. He's brought down by Joe Nemechek and Jalen Edwards.
I don't hate giving Bew the ball more. I know he got stopped there, but the more we can get the ball in his hands here, I think that it bodes pretty well for St. Francis.
He's definitely an athlete.
He's going to be wide right here on this setup. Second down, they gave him 3 yards. 2nd and 7. 2 wide outs left. One to the right is Bew. Larkins in the backfield. Fake to Larkins. They're going to try to throw down the middle, looking for Bew deep in double coverage, and it was batted away. Bew wants the penalty flag, didn't get it.
Good coverage that time. You had the cornerback on man and the free safety helping out.
That brings up 3rd down and 7 for Nate Mall and company.
Boy, you'd really like for St. Francis to get a first down here, run some more clock, and not give Siena Heights one more opportunity before the end of the half. The Saints just 1 of 4 on 3rd down.
Third and 7, 2 wide outs right, 2 to the left. Larkins the deep back in the pistol. And another sack of Nate Mall. They got him on the pass play. They knew the pass play was coming, and they got home. That is the 2nd sack for the Siena Heights defense.
And right now, Nathan Mall just taking too much time in the backfield, Nick. Looking for an open man. It's probably just good coverage, but you gotta run the ball if you don't find an opening. And right now he's staying back, and that's what's leading to the sacks.
And Siena Heights taking what I believe is their final timeout, trying to preserve some time for their offense with 2:13.
It's surprising that they used it here. And actually, I think their coach, their defensive coordinators, see at the 35-yard line saying, did we take a timeout?
I guess someone must have called it. St. Francis punt is pending here with 2:16 to go in the first half out here in Adrian, Michigan. Love our trips up here to the beautiful part of Michigan here in the southeast corner. We're actually closer to Toledo, Ohio than any other
just
major
go to
city.
Toledo and head
make a left.
Head north
Yeah.
for 21 miles.
Yeah. And they do have another college in town, too. It's not like Siena Heights is the only game in town. Adrian College is also here.
Yeah, Division III school.
Beautiful school we drove by. Got a big dome. You don't see those too often on college campuses. Yeah, I know we have a few domes back in the Chicagoland area that host a lot of youth sports and things like that, but they have one here for Adrian College. All right, here we go. Punt situation for Guerrero and St. Francis. They're going to try to block this one. Here comes the pressure. Nearly got there, but Guerrero gets off a decent punt. Return man comes up to the 47 to make the fair catch on the Siena Heights side of the 50. So the Siena Heights offense will have 2 minutes, 11 seconds. to go about half the field for their first score. So far, 7-0 St. Francis.
This will be the 7th offensive series for Siena Heights. Saints have had 6, and they've been 3 plays or under and out on 5 of them.
Very familiar pistol as Himmeline taps his left hip. Heisenleiter behind him. Play action to him. They're going to try to throw it to the right boundary. It's caught, staying in bounds and wrapped up and down at the 40-yard line. Tackle made by Ryan Bannis, the junior corner. And there's our 2 minutes.
Yeah, so that's why the Siena Heights took that timeout. They wanted to get the extra one for the 2-minute warning.
Ask the Chicago Bears what happens when you allow the opposing team to use up some time, right? The time management around the 2-minute warning is very important.
Yep, for sure. Saints will be back home each of the next 2 weeks. Lawrence Tech next week, followed by Madonna, and that'll be homecoming for the Saints on September 27th. If you're listening in today, we've got some St. Francis action at home. Saints taking on number 6 ranked Marian University in women's soccer. That starts at 1 o'clock Central Time at Joliet Memorial Stadium, followed by the men's soccer team playing Cornerstone University at 3:30. A couple big victories for the St. Francis women's volleyball team yesterday. They had been struggling a little bit, but got 2 wins in the first round of the University of Health Sciences in St. Louis tournament down in St. Louis. So nice to see Coach Courier's team pick up a couple of wins yesterday and hopefully get 2 more today.
Snap back to Himmeline. Here comes pressure. He steps up. No one's there in the middle of the field. Himmeline racing to the boundary. Picks up even more inside the 25-yard line. And that's nearly a 20-yard quarterback run. He just saw some green grass in front of him and decided to take off. No one accounted for him.
18-yard pickup puts the ball at the St. Francis 24-yard line.
And that would be the biggest run play of the game for Siena Heights. Previously to that, it was 2 yards.
And that's really the first time that Himmeline has stepped up and run the ball. He's just taken the hit before that.
Screen pass out to the right, running back running the circle route, and he's wrapped up around the 20-yard line, gain of 3 on the play.
No timeouts left, so Siena Heights will have to get to the ball fairly quickly here. Ball's at the 18.
Second and 5 for Siena Heights from the 18-yard line.
First catch for a Heisenleiter. Second down. Snap back and throws. It was caught. Spin move breaks 1 tackle. Taken down inside the 5. First and goal, Siena Heights. 1:18 and counting as soon as they spot the ball.
13-yard pickup that time.
Here's the clock and wind. First time Siena Heights has been this close to the end zone. Heisenleiter left of Himmeline. Motion man into the backfield. Fake to him. Give to Heisenleiter. Inside carry. Nearly untouched into the end zone. With 1 minute to go, Siena Heights an extra point away from tying it up.
Well, this is what we talked about, Nick, on the previous series when St. Francis got the ball back with actually 6:23 and also 3:07 to run some clock. The defense has been out there for a very long time when you're only playing 3 and out on offense, and it's come back to bite St. Francis on this 7th offensive series for Siena Heights. Gives them some momentum going into the half.
Here's Carter Ball, who was 2 for 3 last week on extra points. His first try today, good snap, holds a little iffy. They did get it down, and the kick is good. We're tied at 7 with 1 minute to go. We'll see if the St. Francis offense even wants to try to do something or if they take a few knees to go to halftime. We'll find out. But to your point about the defense being out there a long time for St. Francis, numbers back that up. Siena Heights has had the ball for over 17 minutes of the half hour of play. St. Francis has now only had it under 12 minutes.
5 plays, 53 yards. Took just 1 minute, 11 seconds. See if the Saints have their 1 minute offense sharp. This is a good opportunity to do that.
Just don't throw a pick six.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you don't want to make a mistake here.
See if they give Carl Bew or is that Nate Shute on the outside there?
Believe it is, yep.
Ready to return. See if they give him a chance. Return men for St. Francis standing at their own 11-yard line. The kick is a short one. They will not. Alan Richards, I believe, makes the fair catch at the 28-ish yard line.
Made a nice throw to the referee, too, there.
It was a very good fair catch signal, like he knew what he was doing there. No time coming off the clock for St. Francis. 1 minute to go. See if they can go 71 yards in 60 seconds, or if they decide to take a knee. Nope, doesn't look like they're going to knee it, so they're going to try to run some plays here with 1 minute to go. Larkins behind Maul here in the 1 minute offense. 3 wide receivers right, 1 to the left. That's Carl Bew. Linebackers back off the line of scrimmage. Nate Maul rolling right. Here comes pressure. Dodges one, not the other. You got to get rid of the ball, young man. Takes another sack and loses 6 yards.
On the 23-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 16 for St. Francis.
Now you got to be careful here because now you're trying to overcompensate and make some big plays. You got to make sure you hit your receiver. Watch it.
Steps up. Nathan Maul dodges one, throws that one away, but it does stop the clock and bring up 3rd down. You got to just run it here.
I was going to say either just down it and just down it. They don't have any timeouts left and run out the clock. Because they're going to bring pressure again.
Yep.
And you don't want to make a mistake. And that's what they're going to do.
Yep. Now reset the play clock. And they are in the kneel down position. Nate Maul puts his knee into the turf, and that will take us to the end of half number 1. 7-7. Saints were leading 7-0 until the very last drive for Siena Heights in the half, who tied it there at the end by a Heisen leader short touchdown run. We are knotted up at 7. We thought it would be close, and it is. We'll take a bit of a halftime break here. When we come back, we'll give you first half stats and what we should be looking forward to in the second half. Again, St. Francis on the road here at Siena Heights at halftime, tied at 7.
St. Francis University 7. for the Siena Heights touchdown toss. Nice job, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
And now let's welcome our Siena Heights dance team to the field for their halftime performance. Today's routine is choreographed by Brianna Ill.
Poor margin man. Our fight was a lot bigger last year. Quite a bit. Francis only has 86 yards.
Again, let's hear it for our Siena Heights dance team. Nice job. In their first halftime performance of the season, the band will present two crowd favorites. The band's first selection was first recorded by the American rhythm and blues singer Chris Kenna in 1962. The song references several dance moves, including the twist, the alligator, the mashed potato, the Watusi, and the pony. The band presents Land of 1,000 Dances. next final selection today is a football game favorite that requires audience participation. The Hey Song, originally titled Rock and Roll by Gary Glitter, has been a staple of athletic soundtracks for decades. Join the band with your best Hey when they present the Hey Song. Let's hear it for the Spirit of Siena, your Saints Marching Band. Again, let's hear it for the band. All band and choir alumni are invited to perform with the band as part of the university's final homecoming celebration. Please join us for this historic event. Please contact Christy Blonick for more information. On behalf of Siena Heights University and the Department of Music, thank you for watching, enjoy the game, and go Saints!
Halftime here in Adrian, Michigan. We're tied at 7. So how did we get here, Dave? Well, the offenses for both teams really sputtering. Each one had one productive drive in that first half that led to touchdowns. For St. Francis, it was an 80-yard drive that took about 5 minutes there in the midpoint of that first half. They got their first touchdown on the board, and for Siena Heights came right at the tail end, right there before halftime to give us the 7-7 score. Penalties have been an issue. Each team with 4 penalties apiece. St. Francis, it's cost them about 35 yards. For Siena Heights, 4 penalties that cost them about 27 yards in that one. Individuals leading the way for St. Francis, Nate Mall, just 2 for 8 through the air, only 26 total yards of offense, 1 interception, been sacked 3 times in the game. Favorite target, well, there's only 2. Carl Buse caught 1 pass for 26 yards. Gavin Day caught a pass as well at the line of scrimmage. It's been a ground attack for St. Francis. They're doing a decent job running the ball. Aaron Larkins leading the way there. 8 carries for 42 yards has the Saints' lone touchdown. Carl Bue has run it twice for 11. Gavin Day, 3 carries for 10 yards before he went out with an injury. Siena Heights, they've done nearly all of their damage through the air, opposite of St. Francis. Siena Heights has 175 yards of passing offense with 1 interception from Himmeline. He's been sacked 4 times by the St. Francis defense. Rushing the ball, though, Siena Heights has been pretty much non-existent, just 4 yards rushing. For St. Francis, they've done almost all of their damage on the ground. For Siena Heights, almost all of their damage has come through the air. What does St. Francis have to do to get some more points on the board here?
Well, they have to go more than 3 plays on any offensive series, Nick. If you take away the 10-play, 80-yard drive for the touchdown that ended with Aaron Larkins from 7 yards out, they've had 16 plays for 6 yards in 6 other drives. So that's an average of like 2.5, 3 plays, 2.5 on their other 6 drives. So the St. Francis Saints get the ball to start the second half, and they really have to. We're going to find out real quick what adjustments they made at halftime.
So Carl Bue has been a spark plug whenever he does get the ball. Good things seem to happen. Is there a point? Is it possible we see him under center or behind center?
I'm just not sure. You know, we saw last week he did some of those things. If he is behind center, it's going to be primarily running the ball. It's not going to be throwing the ball. He could throw here and there, but again, we saw the numbers last week, and I think that's why Nathan Mull won out over Carl Bue because of the passing numbers. However, today, Nathan Mull has not been the Nathan Mull that he was last week when he completed, 19 out of 33, something like that, for just under 300 yards. He's had a little bit more pressure, but and maybe it's just the coverage of Siena Heights. Maybe they've just had the better coverage, and that's really been the difference too a little bit with the secondaries. Maybe good coverage, a little bit more good coverage for Siena Heights, and less good coverage for St. Francis, which has led to Siena Heights being able to drive the ball. They've had some drives stalled up until that last series, but they've been able to pick up 10, 12, 15, 28 yards on some pass plays about, 7 or 8 times, whereas the Saints really haven't been able to do that. Saints
of St. Francis will have the ball first, going right to left. Not that that matters. There is no wind. There's cloud cover in the sky, so directionality not really important. Back deep to return for St. Francis. Engstrom on the right, Carl Bue on the left, straddling the 10-yard line.
Why don't we just return the ball for a touchdown and go up right off the bat?
Something needs to spark here, I'll tell you that. Special teams play would certainly do the trick. Redshirt sophomore Carter Ball puts his right boot into it, kicks it toward Engstrom. Line drive kick, caught at the 15. Plenty of time to set something up. Engstrom's hit hard at about the 27-yard line, and down he goes. Pretty tough kid. He took a big shot on a punt return last week where they called a penalty on, actually, for not letting him catch the ball. But he popped right back up like nothing even happened. First down for what we presume to be Nathan Mull in this St. Francis offense, looking to tack on to the 7-7 score. Nathan just 2 for 8 for 26 yards.
Carl Bew back there.
Is he?
Yep.
There you go, Carl
And Gavin
Bew.
Day back in there. And who is our third running back there? Is that Larry Stringham?
That could be. He's the freshman out of JCA.
Yeah, he's on the left side. Gavin Day on the right. Carl Bew taking the snap.
High snap, fakes the handoff, keeps it himself. Trying to go right off the tackle right side, able to fall past the 30 and pick up about 4. I'll tell you, hey, you know what? 4 yards, correct? Let's see if he stays in the game or if that was any kind of just a gadget play. Nope, Carl's waiting for the play call, and he gets it. He's going to be out there and back into a more traditional formation. He'll be in the pistol formation. I believe it's Stringham behind him. 2 wide outs, 1 on each side, 2 tight ends to the right. Snap to Carl. Option play. Decides to hand off right up the gut, and a gain of about 4 or 5 for Gavin Day. He'll be about a foot shy.
Got the first. No. Yeah, he's going to be a little bit short.
3rd down and inches for the St. Francis offense. Now under the command of Carl Bew.
Just get the first down. No passes here. You had 2 plays of 4 and 5 yards. You have not had a first down other than on the touchdown drive.
Siena Heights rushing 4. They hand off right up the middle. That's enough for the first down. They needed about a foot. They got about 6 of them.
Good.
Moves the chains.
Saints had 5 first downs in the first half, and all those came on that 80-yard drive. So
when is the play action pass coming?
Well, this time you only have Bew and Day in the backfield.
2 tight ends again to the right, 2 wide receivers, 1 on each side. Ball near the right hash of the 39. Snap to Carl. He's a designed run for Bew to the outside right. But tracked down nicely by the Siena Heights defense, and Carl a little slow to get up. Let's see if he's just... Yep, they're going to stop the clock. That's not good. They're checking on Carl. Carl Bew down on the sideline right in front of the St. Francis bench at the end of that run.
Laying on his back. I can't see. The referee is right in my way.
He's not holding anything. Hopefully he's just lost his breath, but pretty much the entire offensive coaching staff standing over Carl. Pops right back up and kind of does a little frog hop. Looks like he's going to be okay. He's kind of limping as he walks to the St. Francis bench, but Nathan Mall's going to come back on as Carl tries to fight off whatever that is.
Maybe just got a knee to the thigh there.
Kind of writhing in a bit of pain as he sits down on the bench behind the St. Francis second stringers there. Nate Mall back on. Kind of hard to get in any kind of rhythm when we're still trying to figure out who the best quarterback for the offense is here.
Yeah, and I think he just needs a breather here.
Yeah, he's up on his feet already, so this might be just a one-play situation. 2nd down and 9. Mall hands off to Day, dancing in the backfield, finds a little bit of daylight. Gets out to about the 45-yard line. He picks up 5. It'll be 3rd down and 4. And see where number 1 is. He's still on the sideline. He's not coming in yet.
No, that's
Axon
Branch, yeah.
Freshman wide receiver going to take his spot out wide left here on 3rd and 4.
Now,
Interesting play
Siena
call
Heights
here.
has brought in a lot of pressure, and looks like they're doing so again here.
They already have 4 sacks
now
on Nathan
now
Mall.
They back off.
They'll bring an extra guy. Handoff goes to Larkin. He's tripped up, but look at the second effort. Might have been enough. Oh, they're going to mark him 1 yard short. Great effort by Larkins. He was hitting the backfield, able to keep the legs moving and pick up 3, but he needed 4. So
I say go for it here.
Do you? Because, I don't know, the defense has been playing pretty well. You're right near midfield. I wouldn't have minded a fake punt here if you brought him on right away. But they are. They're going to just straight go for it here on 4th and 1.
Bring the Stringham and Urisic into the lineup. Better get a play on pretty soon here. We're down to 10 on the play clock.
Hurry to the line. Nate Mall is going to go under center. Offset I formation. They give to the fullback, Jurisic, I believe, and he does. He needed one. He got two just across midfield into the Siena Heights territory.
First time we've seen that play, huh? Or was that Friddle?
Friddle, I think they handed off to Jake
Friddle.
Was it?
Yeah.
How many times has he carried the ball?
Never.
It's got to be. Oh, no, it is 89. It is,
oh, was he? Yeah, there it is. Okay.
Yeah, 88 and 89. Friddle's number 88. Jurisic is 89.
Sometimes they bunch the jerseys together. They're so tight.
Well, you got it. Jurisic is a bit shorter. Friddle is here in the slot left as a wide receiver right now. And now you have that Carl Bew back on the field in that three running back set, almost like a T formation. They fake to the running back. Carl's going to try to keep it himself. It was well defended, though, only about a yard there to the 48-yard line of Siena Heights. Clock keeps ticking here, though.
2 first downs on this drive. Keep it going.
Hard-fought first downs. They're not coming easy.
Sometimes you see this. We've seen this a lot, where each team, feels itself out the first half, and they have, 6 offensive series, 7 offensive series. And then the second half, each team has, only 2 or 3 because they get long sustained drives. See if the Saints can keep it going here.
Bew in the pistol, tight end left, 2 wide receivers left. Fake handoff. Carl's going to keep it himself again. Looking to the edge. Makes 2 miss. He's near the sticks. He might have been pushed out a yard or 2 shy. Oh, actually, they mark him at the 44. So it's going to be 3rd down and 5 for St. Francis.
Nice job of blocking that time by Friddle. Stood up his man, allowed Carl to get to the outside.
Nathan Mall coming back into the game at quarterback. Carl Bew still in the game, but he will be a wide receiver this time. Bew wide out to the right with Nate Mall back in. Tight end left, 2 wide receivers left. It's Larkins behind Mall on 3rd and 5. Snap to Nate. He's going to try to throw. He better hurry. He's rolling right.
Get rid of it.
Fires downfield, looking for the tight end. Diving and incomplete. I think it was probably uncatchable.
Now you got to put it.
Yep, now the punt unit comes on. A couple of first downs on the drive, but wait a minute.
Go for it here.
Interesting call here.
Unless they do a fake punt, which I don't think they're going to do.
I don't know. They're not, unless they do a hard count here or something.
So, now, if I'm Siena Heights here, I'm bringing the blitz.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? Carl Bew wide to the right. The corners are extremely off of the wide receivers, giving them about 10 yards.
You got to get a quick pass here.
Snap to Mall, looking, fires, checks it down to Friddle. It's complete. He's got to go upfield, and he does. He breaks the tackle down to the 30. It's a first down for St. Francis on 4th and 5. They pick up 15 up to the 30.
I'll tell you what, great play, but Friddle's got to know where that first down marker is, and if he gets tackled on that play, he doesn't get the first down.
Yep.
That's one where you just have to get upfield. You got to go south. I guess that would be the direction
north
and
south,
right?
Big first down from the hands of Friddle. Bew back at quarterback. He hands off to Larkins this time. Nice run, still pushing past the 25. Picks up 6 on the first down carry. I believe they got a second down marker, but I believe that was first down, right?
Yep. Yeah. Yes, it was.
Now it's second down.
On the 24-yard line.
This will be the 13th play of the drive, Nick. We talked about the touchdown of 10 plays and only 16 other offensive plays, and we got 13 on this drive so far.
Well, the difference, Carl Bew. 2 tight ends right. They're going to run right with Carl. Straight quarterback rush, tripped right at the line of scrimmage. He was able to fall forward for 2, bringing up a 3rd and 1 situation. They still got the down marker wrong, I believe, unless they keep it at 3 there. No, I'm saying 3rd and 1, sir. No, it's 3rd and 2. He's right. 3rd down and 2 with 7:40 to play in the 3rd quarter. We're still tied at 7, but a long drive here for St. Francis. Yards have been hard to come by, but they're fighting for them. 3rd and 2. Bew at quarterback. Tight ends are left. Let's see if they just run left. Option play. They give to the back up to the 20.
That's a first down.
That was Barry, the running back.
Or maybe not. It's going to be fourth down.
Ooh, it was awful close. They need to get to the 20, and again, it's going to be a 4th and inches.
Brought down by A.J. Knox and Clark Hamilton
Got to get this first down.
to the 21-yard line. It'll be 4th and 1 for St. Francis.
Second series in a row.
Here comes Maul back on again. The quarterback shuffle. He'll go under center. They gave it to Friddle here. Well, I think it was Urisic last time, but Friddle is the fullback now. Turn, give to the fullback. Spinning, falling past the 20 for the first down.
Woo! Thank God he spun.
He needed 2 feet and got 3 feet, I think. It was
that
close.
Was Friddle.
Friddle picks up the first down on the carry, a new set of downs as they go inside the red zone, someplace that they've had a lot of success the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, 5 for 5. And that's the second straight conversion on fourth down, Nick.
Mm-hmm. Even the stat guys aren't sure who's carrying the ball. They gave it as a team carry. And Bew back in again on first down. Day is behind him. They give to Gavin. He's wrapped up. They're on his shoelaces.
Got
and
about 4 yards.
Yeah, falls down
3.
just shy of the 15-yard line.
The carry for St. Francis brought down by Joshua Mack and Johnny Hibash at the 16-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 7.
Be the 17th play of the drive. Wow. And this started, we're at 5:50 in the third quarter. Siena Heights has not had the ball yet. The Saints have had it for 9 minutes. And it's only second down.
2 tight ends, Friddle and Urisic, left of the line. 2 wide receivers. Day behind Bew, 2 capable runners. High snap handled by Bew. Handoff to Day.
Oh.
Nope, he still got it, but he was hit at the line.
I thought it went to Day too.
Just a yard there. Brings up 3rd down and 5.
No gain on the play. Stopped by Jalen Edwards and Johnny Hibash. 3rd down.
Another 3rd down situation.
Saints just 2 of 10 on 3rd down, Nick. And Nathan Mull does not come in. We saw this on 3rd down previously.
He might come in on 4th down, though.
I'd like to see that same play, but with Gavin Day to the left side. I thought he was open.
2 running backs, 1 on each side of Carl Bew. Friddle in the left slot. Play action again. Carl's going to keep it. He was hit at the line, still pushing his feet, still going inside the 10, down to the 5. First down, St. Francis. Carl Bew with the carry, but it was Jake Friddle pushing him the entire way. What a play. Brings up 1st and goal for St. Francis. And Carl Bew limping again as Nate Mall comes back on, and that looks like more of a significant limp than he went out with earlier.
That was a 9-yard pickup.
Almost carried him to the 5-yard line.
He's kneeling down now on the far sideline.
Snap to Mall, give to Day.
Get in there!
Step into the end zone, Gavin Day.
What a drive.
Caps off what may be the longest drive in St. Francis offense history in terms of plays and time. Incredible. I don't have the drive numbers right in front of me, but you could probably do some of that math a little quicker than I can find it. But it ends with a 13-7 score. Adrian Guerrero ready to come on to put the extra point through. It started at the kickoff of the second half, and we got 4 minutes and 5 seconds left. Unreal drive by St. Francis. Kick is up, and it is good. They like to take their time.
Yeah, they do.
They're making those signals, don't they? 14-7 with 4:05 to go in the third quarter. A pretty long rest for that St. Francis defense. Compliments of Carl Bew, Nathan Mull in that offense.
Ready?
Yeah, let's hear it.
19 plays, 73 yards, 10 minutes, 48 seconds.
Let's get our statistician on that because that has to be a top 3 longest drives in the 40 years of St. Francis football. 10 minutes and 19 plays. Holy cow.
It wasn't the greatest drive ever.
No.
It was one year when we went to Minnesota Duluth. We had the ball at our own 2-yard line, and we won the game. I'd have to go back and look what year. But we called it. We actually called it the drive because we took it from our own 2-yard line, and it was late in the game. Yeah. Obviously, didn't take 10 minutes, but Yeah, you might be right. 10 minutes and
Closer to 11
48
minutes.
seconds. Wow.
And 19 plays. Here's the kickoff to Siena Heights. Return will come from the 4-yard line. Dangerous return, man.
Good job.
Wrapped up at the 21. Great tackle. Special teams tackle by Nate Shute.
Yep. All right, let's get a stop here.
Well-rested defense, that is for sure. Had halftime and an extra 10 minutes. Almost a half an hour of rest for that defense.
Well, and we talked about, making adjustments at halftime. And that's what the Saints did.
Mm-hmm.
Went to the run more than the pass. We're having success with the pass. About 3 sacks, and just 2 of 8 completions.
Run on the first play, and there is the entire St. Francis defense to meet the running back for Siena Heights at the line of scrimmage. Tried to string it out to the sideline for no gain.
We got an injured Saint on the field, and it looks to be
that's a defensive lineman, isn't it?
Isaac Johnson, the redshirt freshman from Harlem High School. Looks like a knee possibly.
Yeah, he's in some significant pain on that one too. That one's not going to be good.
Comes off the field limping. There's it's pretty impressive actually if you think about it. He's 6'3", 245, and he was leaping on one leg all the way to the sideline. Second and 9 for Siena Heights.
Himmeline play action, throws it to the outside, one-on-one with the receiver and Carson Hansen. Made a nice spin move out to the 30 and pushed out of bounds. It'll be enough for the first down. Looks like they needed 10. I don't know. Yep, they did. They picked up the necessary 10 yards for the first down. Nice pitch and catch out to Kendrick McBride, who made the big catch on one of their drives early in the first half. Heisenleiter, the tailback behind Himmeline, the quarterback. Halfback to the left, 2 wide outs left, 1 to the right. Ball right hash of the 31 for Siena Heights. Run pass option, they're going to throw it. Slant route, caught, broke 1 tackle. Here's the rest of the help down to the 49-yard line. Another quick pass leading to a big play and a first down for Siena Heights. That's really been their only offense.
Yep, 18-yard pickup. Puts it just shy of midfield. 2:41 left to play here in the rapidly played third quarter.
I'd say so. First down at their own 48 for Siena Heights. Linebackers shifting around for St. Francis. Linemen shifting around for St. Francis. Himmeline taking his time as well. 8 on the play clock. Stack wide receivers out to the right, 1 left. Play action. Himmeline rolling to his left, fires on the run, and incomplete. He's lucky he threw that out of bounds because if he didn't, it probably would have been intercepted by St. Francis.
Yeah, and if it would have, who was out there?
Who's laying down? Is that?
Is it, no, not Trey.
That was
Brevin Amiga.
Oh, okay.
He was out there, and if the ball lands in his hands, it's 20-7.
Carl Bew was the one laying on the ground at the St. Francis bench, so I wonder if he got hit just standing there because he's still working on that right leg of his. Second down and 10 after the incomplete pass for Siena Heights. Fake to 1 running back.
There
they
we
go
go
to Heisenleiter, and there's no room for him at the 50-yard line. No gain. Third down and 9 coming up for Siena. Under 2 minutes to go.
Alan Richards on the tackle again. Big play here for the Saints. This is where you got to get that stop. You got to get a little bit tighter on the receivers. That's one thing the defensive backs have not done. They've given just enough room to provide, the quarterback to hit the receiver, and then they make the tackle. They got to get right in their face this time.
Himmeline, 3-step drop. Here comes pressure. Hit as he's thrown. And
Incomplete.
it is incomplete. 4th down and 9. Coming up, pressure applied as he was thrown. Trey Sayers there in the secondary to knock it away.
And pressure from Curtis Reeves and Marcelo Bernardi.
They've been in the backfield all day.
Yes, they have. Connor Engstrom back deep for the Saints. He'll be at about his 15-yard line.
Careful
Isaac
for the fake
Furlane
here.
On the punt attempt.
Near midfield. That's where the fake was last week, not this time. Punt is away. High punt, fair catch called for, and made by the young
Good job,
wide
Connor
receiver.
Engstrom.
I like him as a player.
That drive, I got it from Pat Keating. He's our resident.
Did he look it up?
1991. Well, he was probably at the game that day. That's why he remembers it. I've got 40 years of watching St. Francis football. He had about 6 or 7, although he's followed for 40 years. But he was probably on the sidelines up in Duluth, Minnesota that day, 1991. It was the end of September. I do remember that.
I was 8 years old. A young Nick celebrating his 8th birthday a month before that on Cass Street in Lamont.
Saints get the ball back. 1:18 left to play, leading 14-7.
Carl Bew, the quarterback, turns and gives to Day. Look at the hard running by Gavin Day. He was hit at the line of scrimmage, but still able to pick up 5 out to the 16-yard line. I think that Siena Heights defense might be getting just a bit tired because their tackling is not as good as it was in the first half.
And that's what you want to do. You know, it was almost a 3 and out. They got a couple first downs, but
Bew is the quarterback here again. Different style offense with Carl. Has a tailback behind him. Fakes it. Carl keeps it, looking for the end right.
block.
And close to the first down. I think it'll be a yard or two shy. Yep, they're going to put it at the 19. He'll be a yard shy, so 3rd down and 1. And here, you just got the feeling another one of those long, drawn-out, grind-out drives is coming up.
And to be honest, if you're St. Francis right now, you might want to just end this quarter here without running another play.
13 seconds on the clock and running. I think that's what they're all pointing to the clock. Like, you want to run a play? And they say no.
There you go.
Yeah.
Good job.
Look at that. 40 years of football up here in the booth. Saw that coming a mile away. End of quarter 3. We're going to flip sides. Carl Bew will come out with 3rd down and 1, trying to put a few more points onto this 14-7 St. Francis lead. So St. Francis now with 159 yards of offense. They ended the first half with, I believe, 86. So they almost pretty much doubled their yardage output with that one drive in that 3rd quarter, which nearly took up the entire 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I'd like to, let's see. Yeah, all but just a little bit under 3 minutes.
Yep. Some other numbers right now for Nate Mall, 3 for 10 for 40 yards. On the ground, your leader is Aaron Larkins, 10 carries for 50 yards and a touchdown. Gavin Day has 8 carries for 32 yards and a touchdown. Carl Bew, who has spent time at pretty much every offensive position except lineman, has 9 carries for 34 yards as well. And a catch, by the way. Hasn't thrown a pass yet. And that seems to be what we've seen in that 3rd quarter during that drive, right? We've seen Carl Bew run the rushing offense. When it was 3rd down in a passing situation, we saw Nate Mall come in.
Yeah, and to, give a lot of credit to Nate Mall, too. That was that big 3rd down catch, and there was some pressure coming on him there, and he had to drift to the left to make the throw to Jake Friddle. Friddle then went upfield and got about 10 yards when he needed 5.
3rd down and 1 here for Carl Bew and company. 2 tight ends left. They've just run it that way every time. Handoff, hit in the backfield and going nowhere for St. Francis was Larry Stringham on that play. So loss of 3. Siena Heights guessed on it and guessed right.
Yeah, they did a good job. The outside linebacker to the near sideline cut through the gap between the tackle and the end. Everybody else was covered. He shot straight through, saw Stringham in the backfield, and took him down for a 3-yard loss. Great play by the Siena Heights defense. Great call by the defensive coordinator to put that pressure on.
Last drive, they went for it on 4th and 5, but that was near midfield. This one's 4th and 5 inside the 20. So Adrian Guerrero on to punt it away. Return man for Siena standing at his own 37. Guerrero gets off a good one. And it was caught and tried to return. I thought he was going to call a fair catch, but he didn't.
He did on every other one previously, and this one.
He tried to return it.
Good. And really good coverage by the Saints this afternoon on the punt and the kickoffs. As we said, the kickoff return man had a 92-yard return last week. They've averaged 10 yards on their punts. And on each of the punts today, with the exception of that one, he had to call a fair catch because there were Saints right there.
He should have called a fair catch on that one.
Yeah.
He returned it, but for 0 yards. He ran horizontally for about 10 yards, but he was put down at the 44-yard line. And that is where Himalayan and company will take over for Siena Heights. 1st and 10 inside their own 45.
Let's get a 3-and-out.
Himalayan in the pistol. 3 wideouts right. Give to the halfback, and he's got some room right up the middle of the field. Safety has to come up and drag him down near the 40. Nice hard run before Michael Hackman had to come up and make a stop. That's a big carry. That's
19 yards.
The longest run of the game.
Just went off left tackle. The Saints had three defensive linemen that time and 2 inside linebackers, and they just ran outside the left tackle. There was nobody there, and a big 19-yard pickup for Siena Heights.
They like what they see. They go with the exact same play, but chased down. Nice stiff arm, though. Nice run again up to the 20-yard line. Another first down for Siena Heights. He's in leader, showing why he was a 1,000-yard rusher a year ago.
15-yard pickup this time. And there's an injury timeout. It's going to be Curtis Reeves down for the Saints right now.
I kind of thought it was a timeout called by St. Francis. I think Siena Heights kind of liked what they saw, and they were going no huddle, ran the same play twice. With this C.J. Reeves injury, kind of stopping some of that momentum.
Yeah, we saw Curtis get hurt last week, but then came back into the game pretty quickly.
He's down right now, getting that right leg looked at by the Siena Heights staff. Oh, there he is. I see Art. Okay, he's down there kneeling behind him.
Yeah, it looks like he's checking his right knee, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, Coach Curry holding C.J. Reeves' hand. That's not a good sign there either. I'm getting bad vibes here, David.
Yeah, Art's moving the leg right now, and it's
both teams kind of huddled
stretching it out. So I don't know if it was – hopefully it's only a cramp, but I'm not sure.
Coach Curry came all the way across the field and is just holding his hand while C.J. Reeves is laying down on his back right in front of the Siena Heights bench at the 22-yard line. With 13:15 on the clock here in the fourth quarter.
He's going to get up.
Well, that is a great sign. Putting very little weight on that right leg.
But he's moving it. That's a good sign. Maybe just stretch it out a little bit.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Kind of putting a little more weight on it as he slowly makes his way from the Siena Heights bench to the St. Francis bench. This might be a while, Dave. He is certainly taking his time, which I understand, as he looked like he kind of banged up that leg pretty good. And now the St. Francis defense finally gets back out there. That's good because they ran 2 big plays right in a row on the same exact play. So hopefully during that little break we had the time to diagnose what was going on there.
Big defensive loss. We'll see who's replacing him.
13:14 on the clock winding on the whistle there. Now they're going to try to throw it. Short pass, complete across the middle, down to the 10. That is a first down for Siena Heights. The linebackers drop way back, leaving a lot of room between the line of scrimmage and that linebacker core. As you see, they picked up about 10 yards, but still the linebacker's the one who came up to make the stop. Here's a similar play that they've run to Heisenleiter. They fake it to Heisenleiter. They go to the outside. Good blocking on the outside, but they got off the block and stopped him just in time to stop him from the end zone. It's going to be first and goal from the 1 yard line for Siena Heights. That was a perfect ball on the shallow out route for Siena. Poised to tie the game up here. It's 14-7 St. Francis. And a timeout called by Coach Curry. I heard it from up here. They want to make sure they get that defense set for 4 tries from the goal line here for Siena Heights. So a couple of banged up players today. Carl Bew had to go out for a couple of plays, but he came back in on offense. C.J. Reeves had to leave here. We saw Gavin Day leave in the first half before he came back as well. It's been a pretty physical game, even if the offensives haven't been firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, the defense on this drive for St. Francis has given up 19, 15, 11, and 10 yards. So 4 straight plays of 10 or more yards for Siena Heights. And they've had, if you go back to the previous series where they had the 2 first downs for 11 and 18 yards, they've had 6 of their 10 offensive plays go for 10 yards or more, Nick. That's concerning.
Let's see what they do with the field shrunk down a little bit here. That could help a defense as long as they can make sure Heisenleiter doesn't break free. Himmeline in the gun. Heisenleiter to his right. Halfback motions to the right. Quarterback keeper. They get him. Guess who it is, too? C.J. Reeves back from injury. Wraps up the quarterback, and down he goes for a loss of 2.
He was just teasing everybody.
He just needed a break.
Good play coming from that nose tackle spot.
Busted up the quarterback run.
Still limping around, but saving that energy for the real plays.
Yeah.
11:41 left to play. Saints clinging to a 14-7 lead here in the fourth quarter.
Flowers at running back now for Siena Heights to the right of Himmeline. 2 wideouts left. Tight end right.
Perfect time for a pickoff.
Motion into the backfield. It's Heisenleiter. He takes the handoff and he's wrapped up. It was a lightning bolt coming in for St. Francis.
Carson Hansen.
Of course it was. Another loss.
2 more yards. Now it's 3rd down. The Saints are going to bring in their passing defense. Franciscovich comes back in. Banis.
Nate Shute.
Yep.
Under 11 minutes to go in the game. 3rd and goal.
Michael Hackman in there as well.
3rd and goal for Siena Heights at the 5-yard line. 2 wide receivers to the left here for Siena. They're going to motion from right to left. Now trips on that side and a whistle. Delay a game. Timeout for Siena Heights. They didn't like what they saw. They took a timeout as well. Still a 1-touchdown lead for St. Francis with 10:37 to go in the game.
Interesting times when both teams have taken their timeouts this afternoon, including the first half. But actually, the St. Francis timeout, a couple plays before this, wound up allowing them to reset. And you saw on back-to-back plays, after 4 straight plays of 10 or more yards, 2-yard loss, 2-yard loss, and then the defense that they were set up for, Siena Heights didn't like the play call that they had, so they wound up calling timeout because of the importance of this particular play. All right, Coach, if they don't get it here, are they going for it on 4th down? They're going to kick the field goal.
I think they probably go. I think they take 2 chances at it.
I agree.
Especially with how the St. Francis offense has been able to eat up the clock. They took up the entire third quarter. There's a decent chance that they don't get it back if they kick a field goal. It'll be Heisenleiter to the left of Himmeline, who's in the shotgun. 2 wide receivers left, 1 to the right. Heisenleiter motions to the left slot. Empty backfield. Blitz coming. Throws as he is hit. And out of the back of the end zone. An incomplete 4th down. An impressive catch made. It's the second time we've seen a very athletic catch made out of bounds. And on comes the field goal unit on 4th down. They're going to take the points and rely on their defense.
Keep an eye on the fake, though.
Yep.
This will be a 22-yard attempt?
You got
Missed
it.
from 32 previously.
Right hash, no wind.
1 of 2 only a year ago. And that one was from, I believe, 27.
Carter Ball gets his foot into it, plenty of distance, and he does put it through this time. So 14-10 after the Siena Heights field goal with 10:26 to go in the game. Both of these teams looking for their first wins. Siena Heights losing last week to the University of St. Francis, Indiana, number 24 in the nation, 21-20. Actually, this Siena Heights team was winning 20-0 to start that game before they were shut out the rest of the way after the first quarter. For St. Francis last week, a loss against Taylor at home back in Joliet.
8 plays, 51 yards, capped off by the 22-yard field goal. Took 3 minutes, 39 seconds.
Another MSFA action, St. Francis, Indiana, also in Michigan today, taking on Lawrence Tech. Marion is hosting Defiance. Olivet hosting Madonna today at 1 o'clock. They're in action right now. St. Xavier is hosting Wisconsin Whitewater today. Taylor at home playing Kentucky Christian. And Indiana Wesleyan, the number 6 team in the country, at Judson this afternoon. Or this evening, actually. They play at 6 o'clock tonight. Ball ready to kick it off. Engstrom and Bew set to return. Onside kick. And Siena Heights has it. St. Francis had no idea that was coming. I had no idea that was coming, and it was perfectly executed. Perfectly executed. A dribbler right off of the foot of Ball, and they get the onside kick right at midfield.
Yeah, and the St. Francis sideline, to be honest with you, is stunned right now.
I had no idea. A lot of time left, though. That was the thing. You didn't think it would come with 10:24. If there was like 4 or 5 minutes, I think you would expect it, which is the beauty of the play call. No one had any idea that was coming. Onside successful, Siena Heights. They have 51 yards to go to potentially take the lead. What a call.
Time for the defense to make a statement right now.
Himmeline in the pistol. Heisenleiter behind him. Fake. Throwing as he's hit. Downfield, wide open. It is caught at the 10 and down. A big play. Takes it inside the 10. First and goal for Siena Heights. A perfect throw to Troy West, who makes the catch. And this crowd all of a sudden coming alive.
44-yard pass play. I believe it's the longest play of the day for either team.
Yep. And it's not even close. First and goal at the 9 for Siena Heights.
Wow.
After the 44-yard bomb, the West, he now has 4 catches for 71 yards.
Now we got a penalty on the field. Maybe too many men on the field. Might be a 5-yard penalty against Siena Heights. Yeah, they had 12 men in the huddle, and you can't have that. So it'll be a 5-yard penalty. It's the first penalty of the second half.
Yeah, after 8 of them in the first half.
It's good for the Saints, because now instead of first and goal at the 7, you have first and goal at the 12.
What a call for onside, and what a call on the long pass play.
Yeah.
That's
get him, right away.
Yeah. Heisenleiter behind Himmeline, who taps his left hip. Play action. Another quick pass to the outside, looking for some good blocking. We should get a hold there. I thought the wide receiver was holding some jersey, but
nope, just good block.
Yeah, good block, and a pick up about 2 or 3 yards on the quick out.
Brought down on the 7-yard line by Savion Wilder.
Cornell Prather, the redshirt senior receiver, with the reception. 2nd and goal, back to the 9-yard line, maybe the 8.
Need a Siena Heights mistake right here.
What a St. Francis jump in one of those short passes.
Yep.
Snap back to Himmeline. 3-step drop, looking, surveying, goes to the pylon. It is caught. Toe tap is there. Touchdown. A beauty to Cradell Prather.
For sure.
And St. Francis just stunned at the result of the last 3 plays. Onside kick, 40-yard bomb, and a perfect pass to the pylon for the touchdown to Prather. The Siena Heights offense has never looked better.
3 plays, 51 yards, 96 seconds.
And what's good for St. Francis is there's still just about 9 minutes to go in the game. So plenty of time, and we're going to get a false start, I would think. Every official throws their flag. Yep, false start going to be on Siena Heights, making Carter Ball's job just a bit more difficult.
This could have an impact.
Yeah, he's missed.
Yeah. Their right side moved.
Yeah, one official did give the false start signal. Now they're all huddling up, so they possibly could change it here. Thanks everyone tuning into the YouTube channel. I know it's weird, right, to go to YouTube to listen to radio, essentially. So we thank you for doing that, getting the St. Francis perspective on things. If I were you, I would have queued up the Siena Heights video, mute it, and then, sync us up with that, and then you got yourself a beautiful St. Francis experience there.
That's one thing I never learned how to do.
Well, you just got to find out which one's ahead and hit pause. Right? And then unpause, and eventually you'll get it dialed in. Oh, they will call it on St. Francis. They call encroachment on the Fighting Saints.
Still going to kick it.
Yeah.
Thought you might go for 2 here because then St. Francis would need a field goal or a touchdown. Field goal would be no good.
I don't know. Maybe the kick signal with the left foot means fake. Kick signal with the right foot means kick. We'll see. I'm getting a little creative over here. Carter Ball lines up. Good snap. Holds down. Kick is through. That's good. So it's Siena Heights by 3 here at home as the blue and gold confetti flies at O'Loughlin Stadium. First lead of the game for Siena Heights. And a little extra energy, a little extra juice here, which you would feel all season long, is it's what they've dubbed the last dance here for Siena Heights. The entire university closing up shop at the end of this year, so all the kids who decided to stay on, not only for football but every single sport, playing in the last season ever of Siena Heights athletics. So every game means just a little bit more to them. Himmeline looked good, didn't he? He's been a little inaccurate for a lot of this game, but he put that one right on the money for the touchdown.
Their offense has moved the ball. I mean, there have been very few times where they've been 3 and out, and they've had plenty of plays that went at least 10 yards.
Yeah, he's 20 for 29 for 279 yards. Pretty good. No touchdown. Well, just 1 touchdown pass now and 1 interception. I don't know why they didn't give him the touchdown in the stats here.
Yeah, I was trying to figure that out myself.
They might be a play or 2 behind. But here's the kickoff. Not an onside kick. It'll be Engstrom from the 3-yard line for St. Francis. Need a nice return here. He just puts his head down and rams into a bunch of Siena Heights special teamers at about the 23-yard line. 20-yard return for Engstrom. 8:41 to go in the game, and here comes the St. Francis offense in a very important series in this game.
Yeah, they've had 16 plays of at least 10 yards, Nick. How about an 8-minute, 41-second drive with a touchdown at the end?
First down for Nate Mall, who's in at quarterback. Carl Buse in the slot right. They turn and give to Gavin Day. Slow developing play, and he's hit 3 yards in the backfield. Not a lot of urgency in the running of Gavin Day on that particular play.
2-yard loss. Make it a 3-yard loss.
It's actually a loss of 4, so second down and 14, back to the 20-yard line for St. Francis. Bu again far to the left. Linebackers for Siena drop back. Now they blitz from the right and check down, and that had no chance for Jake Friddle. Nate Mall was under pressure. They've done that several times where they will have 3 linebackers at the line of scrimmage. They would drop all 3 of them, and then one of them will come back in and rush, and it brings up third down and long. I don't know how the last 2 or 3 series you have Carl Bu out there running the offense, moving the ball, but he's not out here for this one as the quarterback.
Yeah, Jordan Elmore coming from that left side, or is it Elmore? Maybe 38 there.
Third down.
Clark Hamilton, one of their leading tacklers a year ago, and is back this year. Here he comes again.
Here comes the blitz. Nathan throws down the middle looking for Bu, and he was held. Where's the flag? Oh, no flag thrown. A hat was thrown. I think somebody ran out of bounds, but looked like Carl Bu had somebody hanging on his arm the entire way. But no flag, incomplete, fourth down, and Guerrero's going to have to come on and punt it away after a 3-and-out for St. Francis at the most inopportune time.
Yeah, you don't want to give the ball back to Siena Heights after just 3 plays and really 2 straight offensive series. And you got to be careful of a block punt here because they've been bringing pressure on everything.
Here it comes. Guerrero gets it off. Nice high kick. And fair catch called for and made at the 43-yard line. That's where Siena Heights will take over with 8:18 to go. Time still on St. Francis' side here as they trail by 3. But they got to figure out the offense.
Yeah, they just had the ball, Nick, for 23 seconds.
Nate Mall just 3 for 12 today for 40 yards. 1 interception, 3 sacks. The St. Francis rushers have had a decent day, 121 yards on the ground, split between about 8 of them. First down for Himmeline. They are in the driver's seat now, our Siena Heights. Play action, another quick pass, another completion.
Watch out.
Cuts to the outside, inside the 25, wrapped up and thrown down at the 20. Another big play by Joshua Mack. St. Francis doesn't know how to stop that quick pass play offense by Siena Heights. All they're doing is running quick slants right to the middle of the field and picking up 18, 19, 20 yards a pop.
38 yards that time, Nick.
No one's guarding the middle of the field. Himmeline in the pistol. Play action again. Quick pass again to the outside. He's out of bounds at the 14. That's still a pickup of 5 yards, maybe 6.
Yeah, the receivers have had the day with the St. Francis defenders. That's for sure. Saints did have 1 interception by Hackman, but there haven't been any drop balls. It's just been a few ill-timed passes for the quarterback.
Himmeline's going to reset the play. Put Flowers behind him. 3 wide outs left, 1 right.
21 of 30, 316 yards.
Good snap. The give to Flowers. Inside carry, breaks free, second level. Wrapped down inside the 5. It's going to be first and goal again for Siena Heights. It was Sayers who had to make the stop right before the end zone.
Brought down by Trey Sayers at the
And the clock's running under 7 minutes now.
It'll be first and goal for Siena Heights.
Been all Siena. It was all St. Francis in the third quarter. It's all Siena Heights here in the fourth.
Another pistol formation. Flowers behind Himmeline. McBride motions tight to the line. Step in. Touchdown. Inside carry goes for another touchdown. Nice stutter step by Flowers. Puts another touchdown on the board. An extra point will make it a 2-score. Well, it's already a 2-score. Extra point will make it a 10-point game. Siena Heights just stunning St. Francis after the touchdown. The onside kick.
4 plays, 59 yards, 1 minute, 53 seconds.
Or the field goal. Yeah, they kicked the field goal, then did an onside kick, then scored a touchdown, then just put another one here on the board. That extra point is good. That's 17 unanswered. You can tell how jacked up this Siena Heights team is right now after the last 3 possessions that they've been able to put together.
And I'll be very honest with you. You know, if you're Siena Heights' defense right now, all you're going to do is blitz.
Blitz every time.
It's been very successful here.
Yeah. Carl Buse going out there to return, but a noticeable limp for the sophomore, which might be why he's not out there at quarterback if he can't run as well. I'm not sure why you put him at kick return, but. .365 yards of offense for Siena Heights. All but 50 have come through the air. And they've done it with a mix of short game and deep balls. The kick from Ball. It's short, angled right, going to Engstrom instead of Bew. He'll take it from the 15, cuts it back up the middle, up to the 29-yard line.
Unanswered points the last 2 weeks. Nick, really the difference. Last week, after the Saints scored to start the game, Taylor had 28 unanswered points. This week, the Saints took a 14-7 lead late in the third quarter. And since then, they've been outscored 17-zip.
It's Nate Mall at quarterback. Gavin Dater was right. 4 wide receivers out there. They kind of have to throw the ball here. Pressure comes. Nate escapes, but holds it for too long again and takes another sack back to the 22-yard line as he was trying to give his wide receiver some time. That'll be the 5th sack of the game for Siena Heights. Nate just doesn't have the escapability.
And you can see Coach McCarthy on the far sideline looking a little bit frustrated right now.
Same formation, Day behind Mall. Blitz being shown, and they're bringing more pressure. Nate just gets rid of it left, looking for Ryan Little. Goes up and gets it. Up near the 50-yard line. It's complete and a first down. Finally, they look downfield to Ryan Little, who really lined that one up to make the play. Nice throw, nice catch by Little. It's a fresh set of downs and a bit of energy for the St. Francis offense.
27-yard pass play.
Longest one of the season? Did they get one that long last year or last week?
Check and see.
Here's a snap to Mall. Quick pass. It goes out to Bew, but he dropped it at the 45-yard line. It would have been 6 yards. But Bew just dropped it.
It was 1 for 28 yards to Ryan Little last week.
Second down and 10 coming up for St. Francis at their own 49. 5:01 to play in the game. They're chasing 10 points here. They need a score here. even if it's a field goal. Hope to not have to rely on a kick, but you need at least 2 scores. Blitz shown to the left of Maul. They back it off. They drop into coverage, only rushing 3. They get to him anyway, but he escapes. Here's Ryan Maul rushing right to the 50. Tucks it in and goes out of bounds at the 45. He picks up 6 on the scramble. Brings up 3rd down and 4 for St. Francis inside Siena Heights territory.
Yeah, and that was just good coverage by Siena Heights that time. And we've talked about that earlier. You know, the reason Nathan's kept the ball a little bit too long at times. Other times it's just been really good coverage.
See how many they bring from Siena Heights' defense. They're going to bring 5. Quick throw to Bew. Reaches out and makes the catch. That's enough for the first down. A beauty by Bew. Moves the chains to the 37-yard line. Make it 38.
Just over 4 minutes left to play. Got to score pretty quick here because you got to get the ball back one more time, trailing by 10.
Quick throw again, out to Engstrom. Takes a huge hit. The ball comes out. That's going to be a fumble, isn't it?
I thought he was down.
I thought he was down. I mean, he wasn't down until he got smoked by. Oh, do you think he didn't let go of the ball until he hit the ground? He's in pain. That's a concussion. I mean, there's no doubt about that. He just got.
But I thought he was down when the.
Oh, he just fell down too before he got to the sidelines. He is shaken up. A huge hit on Engstrom, and a flag is going to come out for targeting.
Yep, for sure.
Hit him right in the head, it looked like, too. We don't have the benefit of the replay here, but Engstrom was turned around looking for the pass, and when he touched that ball, he was just leveled and wasn't able to make it to the sideline, and we just hope he's okay after that. St. Francis players on a knee, and I think the coaches are kind of getting a little upset with the officials for throwing the flag on it, but look pretty clear that's the kind of plays they're trying to avoid. Is Engstrom able to get back up and walk off the field under his own power? But I'm no doctor, and I can't diagnose a concussion, but
well, yeah, even I think they're questioning the fumble, but then if there's targeting, I don't obviously think there can be a fumble. It would just be obviously the penalty and 15 yards. And Matt Cohn, the head coach of Siena Heights, talking to the line judge here on the near sideline and saying, I think, why was the flag thrown so late? Was it because St. Francis complained? Because he's pointing at the St. Francis sideline.
So the penalty will go against Siena Heights. Official word is personal foul. First down for St. Francis. Yeah, Coach Cohn, in his 10th year, wants a word with the white hat. He's saying that the defender hit him right in the shoulder, right in the chest. And I'm not sure if he's right or wrong, to be honest.
You'd have to really see a replay.
Yeah. We really just hope Mr. Engstrom's okay after that. He took a pretty vicious shot there.
Should put the ball at about the 18-yard line, if I'm not mistaken.
Officials still talking about probably a spotting of the ball situation.
And I think Matt's just on the near sideline, the head coach for Siena Heights, is just saying the flag came out so late, and did you just throw it out there because St. Francis complained? That's what I'm getting out of this, because he is pointing at the St. Francis sideline, and he's not attacking anybody on the St. Francis sideline. I think he just keeps saying, you're calling that because, they were questioning it. I don't think they know where to spot the ball right now, because I don't think it's in the right spot, to be honest with you.
Yeah, the referee with the ball is still kind of walking around with it.
Yeah, that's the umpire who usually places the ball down, and now everybody's trying to figure out where the ball should be at. It should be
Now they figured it out. Yep, right at the 12-yard line, just like you said.
18, yep.
Yep, thank you, 18. So 1st and 10 for St. Francis at the Siena Heights 18 after the delay with penalty, and hopefully Connor Engstrom's okay after the hit. But St. Francis has an opportunity here. 3:50, not a ton of time. Snap back to Nate. He's going to look to the end zone. Fires for Little. He's open. Touchdown. Oh, but he dropped it. Oh, he was open in the end zone. Right in his hands. A beautiful ball by Nate. But the usually sure-handed Ryan Little drops the touchdown.
Yeah, for sure. He knew it too.
Oh, wow. There was no coverage, no hit. Just a straight drop by number 4.
I am really surprised that Siena Heights has not brought the sack like they've done pretty much throughout the game here on this particular drive.
Day to the left of Mall. Let's see if they go Mr. Little's way again. Nope, they're going to look to Carl. Has him on the slot. He bobbled it again, and it was in the end zone. It was a sure touchdown if he catches the ball, but Carl Bew dropped the touchdown. Oh, no. 2 great passes by Nathan Mall. Both of them dropped in the end zone. Can you do it again? How much can you expect here? Does anyone want to catch a touchdown pass here? Siena Heights just out here dodging bullets. Snap to Mall. He's going to go to the end zone again. They're going for Little again. And that one's caught in traffic. How does he do it? Nate Mall with with 3 dimes.
And now the Saints are going to get hit with a penalty.
Over excessive. You can't do that. You're chasing 3. But, yeah, they're going to get Ryan Little for spinning the ball, an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. Oh, but 2 perfect passes dropped, and Nate Mall throws another one to Ryan Little. It's like Little doesn't want to catch the ball unless it's up against a cornerback. It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
touchdown Saints.
The cornerback was right, in his shoulder pads there, and Ryan just pulled it out over his helmet, over the defender's helmet, and made the catch and stayed in bounds in that left corner.
You know what I think it is with Nate Mall being the freshman that he is? I'm not sure he fully trusts his wide receivers yet. I think he's holding the ball so long, waiting to see them wide open before he throws it. If he throws it up for Ryan Little or some of the newcomers, Branch, the taller wide receivers, they likely go up and get those balls. And we've seen it twice with Ryan Little already today. Here's Guerrero for the all-important extra point, and he bangs it through. It's Siena Heights by 3 after the Saints touchdown, 24-21. 3.5 minutes to go. We got ourselves a fun one up here in Southeast Michigan.
Nine plays, 76 yards. Took about 2.5 minutes, 2:45, I believe.
And that's the best we've seen Nathan Mall look all year. Throwing the football. He's now 6 for 18, 64 yards and a touchdown.
Now, the unfortunate thing is here, Nick, as you can see, as they line up the ball, you're going to have to kick from the 20, and you're more than likely going to onside it, and I'm not sure if they are.
Looks like Guerrero might be.
I think he's going to be honest with you, I
don't see the hands team out there.
I think he's going to have to boot it far.
Yeah.
The one problem is, so there's 3:31 left. The Saints only have 2 timeouts. Remember, they used one on that one drive when they got the field goal. That led to the field goal instead of a touchdown on that drive that made it 14-10. So they only have 2 timeouts left. So, if you go deep, which I think they're going to do, you're almost going to have to get a 3-and-out.
I wouldn't mind a pooch kick here, kind of 10, 15 yards in front of the return man, because there's a lot of space there. DJ Young, the returner, returned the opening kickoff last week for a touchdown against St. Francis, Indiana. Here's Adrian Guerrero kicking off from his own 20 with 3:31 left to go. Puts his boot into it, kicks it right at Young. Angled a bit left. Return will come from the 18-yard line for Siena Heights. Takes it right up the numbers. Hit, and here's the rest of the Saints special teamers to take him down at the 34-yard line.
Anything stupid here.
Yep. Good coverage by St. Francis special teamers, and the defense going to have to go out there and get that ball back for the offense. They got 3:21 on the clock. But to give credit to Braylon Himmeline, the redshirt sophomore quarterback for Siena Heights, he's been very good this quarter. Quick passes have led to big plays for the Saints of Siena Heights. You got to probably tighten up the coverage just a little bit. The safeties, I don't know you should be so close either. Bannis and Sayers are up pretty tight. Snap to Himmeline. They're going to keep it on the ground. Nice run up to the 32 to pick up a 4 yards for Heisenleader.
Yeah, if the Saints don't get a stop on this 3 and out, then you'll see them go into timeouts, I believe.
Yep.
Or you might have to do it after this play.
You're going to take the play clock all the way down, 19 on the play clock.
Yep, smart.
They're already up to the line of scrimmage with 13 on the play clock. Himmeline in no hurry. Actually snapped it with about 8 seconds left to go. They're going to give Heisenleader trying to get that first down, and he's going to get it.
Now you got to call timeout.
He's going to bull rush it up to the 45 with help from his offensive line friends. And referees are getting together. There's no flag on the play, is there?
No, they're just determining the timeout. Now the advantage that St. Now it should be at 2:32. That's when the timeout was called. I saw the clock when they made the timeout.
There's the timeout.
Yeah, it should be 2:32.
Yep.
Yeah,
they're actually going to put a second even more. They're going to put 2:33 on it.
Maybe even 2:35.
Yep, 2:33 on the clock now.
Yep.
Good eyes there, Mr. LeKidd.
Yeah, so the advantage now is, and this is a rule that went into effect, I believe it was last year. Now you've got the 2-minute warning.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to get a stop here. If they get another first down, this game is over.
Yep.
So you got to – St. Francis has called the timeout on this play. They'll get the 2-minute warning unless they call a timeout.
So will they call it before the 2-minute warning?
They might. That would be a possibility. And then they'll have one more.
He tapped his left hip, so I think they're going to go right here.
And I want to say you got to run the ball here.
The give. Heisenleader wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage. Big play.
Yep, and St. Francis is going to call timeout.
Nice stop by Bryce Pollard, the freshman nose tackle out of Homewood Flossmoor, to make a very important stop. Loss of 1, stopping the clock with 2:26 now.
Yeah, I was going to say you don't want to play into St. Francis's hands by throwing a pass and having it fall incomplete, because then that obviously stops the clock. So, all right, so you got 2nd and 11, 2:26 left. So you run one more play, and if the Saints can get a stop here on 2nd down, get it down to 3rd down, and then you got it down to like 2:20 maybe, if it's a similar run play, and then you got the advantage of the 2-minute warning. So good, really good clock management by the Saints right now. If they can get a stop here, they've got a chance. If you're checking the online stats, I don't know what's going on. There's a little bit of a quirk. It says St. Francis, Illinois, 21, Siena Heights, 18. That is not correct, and I really don't know how that happens. If I'd have to go back and look at the play-by-play if I'm not sure what's going on. But it is Siena Heights 24, St. Francis 21.
The give to Heisenleader. Good blocking up front. They get to the 50, and down he goes. He is short. He's 5 yards short, 6-yard carry. Pushing. Saw some St. Francis. There's the flag. It's going to go against Siena Heights, I think. Oh, it's going to be huge.
If it is, that is absolutely crazy right now.
You're trying to end the game.
Wow.
And the whole Siena Heights offense is looking at their teammate, Gwilly, with amazement that would happen. Cohn again, just can't believe it. Yep, they called it on Siena Heights. 15-yard penalty.
So it'll be 3rd and
15?
3rd and 20.
Yeah.
Wow.
All the way back to the Siena Heights 35. Huge yardage play, too, if St. Francis is able to stop them and get some kind of a punt.
And now here's the thing, Nick. So more than likely, they're going to pass it.
Yep.
If this pass falls incomplete.
Huge. Well, they're going to let this go to the 2-minute warning because the clock is running now. The clock is running. They're going to let that go because that's going to.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if the clock would run, but still, it is the 2-minute warning.
So down to the 2-minute warning.
Wow. It amazes me. I will tell you this. This is where I'm amazed, and we talked about this coming up here. With everything that's on social media these days, and every game across America on TV and whatnot, you saw the Philadelphia Eagles guy spit on Dak Prescott to begin the game. Right? Most people, especially college football guys that have watched, South Florida, they get a 15-yard penalty on Florida that leads to them, getting a series to run and get a touchdown or a field goal or whatever it was to win the game. This happens so often that, to me, it is amazing that these guys, and I'm not just talking Siena Heights here, I'm talking nationwide, of guys that just don't have discipline late in the game when the game is on the line.
Yep. Because you're going to get caught. It's like, I'm sure it's happened since football was invented that there's been extracurriculars fighting. It's an emotional sport. You got to be able to. But now, what you're trying to say with social media is not only is it going to hurt your team, but you're also going to be blasted on social media.
Well, I'm saying that. I'm just saying you see those plays.
Yeah.
You go on Twitter, you go on Instagram. They'll show the play, and that's what leads to the score.
Well, here we go. 3rd and 20. Play action. Pressure on Himmeline here. He's running right. He's going to try to tuck it and run. He slides down, and it's going to be 4th down coming up. 150 and counting.
So they'll have to get it out with about 115.
Oh, the special teams was about to run out there, but Mark Cohn might take a timeout with in about 30 seconds here. So they're going to let this tick down another 24 seconds to about like you said, 115, 110-ish. They're going to call a timeout and punt from there. So the St. Francis offense will have a little over a minute to take it down the field and score. A field goal can tie it. It's 24-21. Another thing to keep an eye on here is the punter for.
That's what I was just going to say.
It's Ian Furlong, and he's got a big leg when he gets a hold of one, but he's been known to shank a few.
I'm trying to go back to see his first 2 punts, how many yards they went.
They're not going to fake it, are
they? I would not.
I would not either. But so next week, taking a look ahead for St. Francis here. It's back-to-back home games for USF. On the 20th of September, they will host Lawrence Tech. And then I look forward to seeing everyone out for homecoming September 27th as they host Madonna, also out of Michigan. Next game on the road will be at Indiana Wesleyan on October 4th.
Yeah, his first 2 punts went 10 and 9 yards, Nick.
Yep. But then he's also had a couple of 50-plus punts.
Well, one nice thing we're seeing right now, Nick, and I don't know if you're seeing it.
Engstrom is back out there. Holy cow. How is that even possible?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Don't get hit again.
1:10. 70 seconds left in the game.
It's a timeout right now, so clock will start to wind now. There's the snap. The punt is away. It's a short one, but it will go right out of bounds. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Out of bounds. They mark it at the 39, 40-yard line. So Saints got 60 yards to go win the game with 1 minute and 5 seconds. Not the best. I mean, we've seen worse punts than that. But I'm not sure he'd probably like to have that one back, I would imagine. Nathan Mall has had success when he's been able to get the ball out of his hands quickly. And Ryan Little, he did have one drop, but he's also been very good when covered. He's a taller receiver, 6'4", going up against a much smaller defender at 5'10". The cornerback is 5'10". Ryan Little, 6'4".
24-yard punt that time, Nick.
Here we go. 4 wide receivers. First down. Snap to Mall. Looking left. Down the middle of the field. It's batted in the air and nearly intercepted.
Dropped.
Holy smokes.
That was incomplete. Yep, incomplete. Whoa.
Batted at the line straight into the air and nearly intercepted by Siena Heights. Holy cow. Second down coming up.
Tipped and dropped by Jalen Edwards. It'll be second down for St. Francis.
Jalen Edwards, the redshirt freshman linebacker. Second on the team in tackles, able to knock that one into the air and deflect it. Second down, clock at 59 seconds.
I think we're going to bring some pressure this time,
Yeah,
Nick.
you think?
They didn't. Now they back off them.
Well, they could bring it again. Nope, they're only going to rush 3. Nate Mall steps up. Here comes the late blitz. Checks it down to Day, who's got daylight. Takes it past the 50 and out of bounds at the 47-yard line. First down, Saints. Perfect play at the perfect time. Smart move by Day to get out of bounds. Stops the clock at 51 seconds.
And really good job by Nathan Mall that time because Day was right there, and Nathan Mall felt the pressure, and I think he guided Gavin Day, saying, "Hey, get upfield a little bit. I'm going to throw you the ball," and that's exactly what happened. 12-yard pickup. St. Francis ball at the Siena Heights 48-yard line. 51 seconds left.
Saints down 3. Snap to Mall. Here's a 3-man rush.
Throw it out of bounds.
Yep, throws it down the sideline and out of bounds. There's a lot of holding going on Jake Friddle on that play. Second down coming up. Clock at 45 seconds.
I'm still a bit shocked that
They're not blitzing?
Yeah. I mean, when they blitzed, Nathan Mall had very little time to, throw a ball downfield. So pays off for the Saints.
Day on the left hip of Mall. 3 linebackers drop into coverage. 3-man rush. They get to him, though.
Oh,
a 3-man rush gets to Mall. How does that happen?
And you got to get to the line of scrimmage. There's no time.
A.J. Knox, the defensive end, gets the sack. Third down and very long. 30 seconds and counting. No timeouts for St. Francis.
And you really can't down the ball.
There's the snap to Mall. Looking downfield. He has to hurry. Taken down again. 4th down. How does that happen? Oh.
Are they saying he's down or not? The clock is running. It should be running. Why isn't it running?
Because there might be a question on if it was a fumble.
I think he was down. Oh.
Fumble, Siena Heights ball game.
Yeah, and Coach Curry not complaining. He's had a good shot of it, and Saints are going to fall here 24-21.
Another fumble.
Yeah, that last play on the tackle, on the sack, just not good. Like you said, you have 5 offensive linemen, you have a 3-man rush, and Nathan Mall gets sacked.
Siena Heights in victory formation with 14 seconds to go.
No timeouts left for the Saints.
There's the kneel down, and they will let the clock wind. A frustrating end for St. Francis. Some highs and lows in the game.
Yep.
But they had a chance at the end, but couldn't protect Nate Mall, and Nate probably held it longer than he should in a few different times.
Yeah, and give a lot of credit to Siena Heights. They had really good coverage throughout the afternoon. Yeah, just you're making too many mistakes. We thought, things would get better from week 1 to week 2. In some aspects they did, but in more aspects than not, they did not, and that's what resulted in a 3-point loss.
Final score 21-18. Nate Mall goes 7 for 21, 76 yards, a touchdown, a pick, but sacked 5 times. On the ground, St. Francis rushing collectively for 148 yards. 4 players with over 25 yards rushing, including Nate Mall, 8 carries for 25. Gavin Day, 10 carries for 33. Carl Bew, 10 carries for 37. Aaron Larkins led the way with 10 carries for 50 yards and a touchdown. The leading receiver, Carl Bew, 2 catches, 27 yards. Ryan Little had 1 catch for 18 yards. That was the touchdown near the end of the game. And Jake Friddle, 1 catch for 14 yards. For Siena Heights, Braylon Himmeline, 21 for 30 for 315. That's a heck of a line for the sophomore quarterback for Siena Heights. No touchdowns, 1 interception, was sacked 4 times by the St. Francis defense. On the ground, Siena Heights only able to rush it for 66 yards. Heisen leader, 13 carries for just 39 yards. He did score a touchdown. Jalen Flowers, 4 carries for 32 yards and a touchdown as well. The scores, I give you those stats, but I'm not 100% confident in them because the stat sheet that I'm reading off of also has the score wrong. So there might be a little mix-up with some of these numbers, but it gives you a general feeling on the difference between the teams and how well each player did perform in that. So there you go. A frustrating end. You thought you had them in the beginning. You played pretty well. You pretty much had the ball for the entire third quarter with just 1 drive, Dave. They went 19 plays that took over almost 11 minutes and scored a touchdown at the end of that drive, but that was really the last we saw of the St. Francis offense. They really kind of disappeared in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, there were a lot of, coming off last week with the performance of Nathan Mall, with his passing numbers, we just did not see that this afternoon. And maybe it was the excellent coverage of Siena Heights. Maybe it was the offensive line. We were talking about the offensive line of Siena Heights and being all underclassmen with the exception of 1 junior. And I think both teams wound up with either – I know St. Francis had the 5 sacks against them. I think St. Francis did have 5 sacks. Mm-hmm. But again, with a veteran offensive line, you shouldn't have that many, especially that last one was just the killer.
Yep. 3-man rush.
Again, you were right at the 50-yard line. Now you lost 15 yards on that play, and you got the clock running. You have no timeouts left. I thought the Saints did a great job with clock management to get the ball back, and then had that opportunity on that 15-yard penalty. That really opened it up for the Saints, and they just never could grab onto it.
Looks like they've updated the stats, and most of them, what I gave you, were pretty accurate. Over 300 yards for Himmeline. Just 76 yards throwing for Nate Mall. He was really at his best when he let his receivers kind of go to work and got rid of that ball quickly. The longer he held on to it, it really created a pretty rough situation. The difference in the game, though, the beginning of that fourth quarter, the field goal for Siena Heights, the surprise onside kick with about 10 minutes to go, and then 2 consecutive touchdown drives. 17
unanswered points. We saw that last week against Taylor, where the Saints scored the first 7 points, and then Taylor scored the next 28, and the defense did some good things, especially in the first half. But again, when you have, I don't know what the final number was, but I know there were at least 16 plays with plus 10 yards. You can't have that and expect to win. So it was an all around effort that led to the loss. So there's not a blame one way or the other. Like I said, there were some positives, but there were more negatives, and that's what led to the 3-point loss.
Absolutely. You kind of root for Siena Heights now going forward, too. They're in their final season of intercollegiate athletics as the school shuts down at the end of the year. So you kind of root for these guys to go out and win as much as they can, make those memories. Their next chance is not going to be an easy one as they're on the road at Olivet Nazarene. It's actually coming up in 2 weeks. They have an off week next weekend, and they're at Olivet on the 27th. For St. Francis, it's back at home for 2 weeks. Lawrence Tech next week, and Madonna on the 27th before they take their bye week. Then it's back on the road in Indiana to take on the number 6 team in the nation, Indiana Wesleyan, on October 4th. You can check out the details on where the Saints are going to be, whether it's their football team or any other programs in action right now at GoFightingSaints.com. Your final score out here in Adrian, Siena Heights 24, St. Francis 21. For Dave Lucetta, my name is Nick Jacobs. Have a great rest of your weekend, everyone. Take care.